Chapter 1720. 3 days later. Lin Xian, Han Chuxue, Ling Ying, Wang Xintong, Wu Yuhan, Wu Yunhua, Xiao Xinyue, Murong Yu, Feng Ling, and Zhuge Feng were all ready to go. This small team of 10 people was relatively secretive. It could be said that Murong Feng had secretly established this small team. Of course, he would inform the other forces later on. Moreover, he would also need them to do a lot of things. However, this secret had to be kept for the time being for the sake of their safety and for the sake of their safety. In these 3 days, Lin Xian also told Miao Xiaomiao, Ling Long Shui, Bai Xianxian, Murong Qing, and the other girls about this matter. On Sky Blue Planet, Lin Xian's family was them. Other than them, Lin Xian had nothing else to worry about. If there was anything else, it would be their family. In the future, they would be Lin Xian's mother-in-law, right? They didn't think much of it. Lin Xian going to improve his cultivation was the best. They just wouldn't be able to see him, but they could still video chat. This wasn't a big deal. It just so happened that they also needed to improve their cultivation. Have you brought everything that you should bring? The best spiritual energy recovery medicine, healing medicine, and other things have all been brought. Also, I've prepared some powerful spiritual weapons from the temple. They're one-time combat tools that can be of some use in dangerous situations. Murong Feng reminded them. Yes, we've brought everything. Murong Feng nodded his head. The demon god empire is vast, and there are many demon beasts. Moreover, it is very messy. However, there are 2 secret realms there, the Divine Dragon Secret Realm and the Qilin Secret Realm. If you have the ability, you must go there. You may find some good things or even opportunities there. As for the rest, we will leave it up to fate. We have not explored that place for a long time. Besides Tian Lin and the others, almost no one has been there for many years. Got it. Then, Murong Feng handed each of them a jade bottle. This is a demon aura pill. After consuming it, your aura will be that of demon beasts. As long as you don't encounter those terrifying existences, you won't be discovered. Even the spiritual energy you release will be that of demon beasts. They took it. When we reach the demon god empire, I'll give you guys a way to farm monsters quickly and legitimately. Murong Feng said. What? Although the demon god empire is an empire, it is divided into many cities and many forces. These forces are like fire and water, and often kill each other. This is the situation of the demon race. Unless the Myriad Demon League wants to unify them to attack the human race, they won't care about this kind of thing. Instead, this is what the Myriad Demon League advocates. The demon race advocates the rule of the strongest. When the time comes, you can join a faction that likes to fight and use them to attack other factions. You can take the opportunity to farm monsters and improve your fighting skills. They nodded. I don't have anything else to tell you. Take your own life as the most important thing. Support and help each other. By all means, don't have any conflicts. Murong Feng said. Oh, Uncle Murong, you may have to worry about this for others, but you don't have to worry about us. Lin Xian really didn't think that there would be any conflicts between them. The main thing was that there might be fighting and scheming among others, but there was no such thing between them. They were either Lin Xian's women, or soon to be, or they had a very good impression of Lin Xian. Even if it was Feng Ling, they could be considered to have experienced life and death together. Among them, it seemed that Feng Ling was the only one that they weren't too familiar with. Then there was Zhuge Feng. How big of a mistake could there be? Yes, it's good that you guys understand. You're all alone outside, and in such a dangerous place, you guys are each other's protection. Now, let's go. Yes. Then the 10 of them embarked on the journey to the demon god empire. In the demonic beast domain, the 10 of them did not use any special methods. They were simply walking on foot. Lin Xian would occasionally release a spatial jump, and they would travel dozens of kilometers. The 10 of them made it seem like they were on vacation. Just like that, 5 days passed. The departure of the 10 of them, whether it was the human race or the demon race, was something that couldn't be detected unless you were watching them closely. Late at night. In these 5 days, The 10 of them should have traveled more than 5,000 kilometers. On average, they traveled 1,000 kilometers a day. That was definitely Lin Xian's spatial attribute, Feng Ling, and Murong Yu's spatial attribute as their main means of traveling. If they wanted to be faster, they should have arrived by now. But they still felt that it was good to walk and enjoy the scenery. For any of the 10 of them, this was the first time they had left the human race's territory so far. Previously, even when they were in the great virtual realm, they were still not more than 500 kilometers away from the human race's territory. Now, they were even more than 10,000 kilometers away from the human race's territory. Hey, let's have a good rest tonight. We're now in an area that the human race hasn't explored for many years. It might be very dangerous. After such a long journey, let's rest first. We'll set off tomorrow. Without a doubt, Lin Xian was their captain. Everyone was willing to let Lin Xian be their captain. As for the vice-captain, in the end, it still fell on Murong Yu. In the beginning, everyone had chosen between Feng Ling and Murong Yu as the vice-captain. There were no objections to this decision, as both girls were outstanding and capable. Then, the two of them pushed each other away. You can be the vice-captain, you can be the vice-captain. After a long discussion, they finally decided on Murong Yu by drawing lots. It's mainly you, Murong Yu, and Feng Ling who are more tired. Wang Xintong said. Sigh, it's not tiring at all. Come, let's eat hot pot together. Lin Xian then released the law of creation. A simple little house appeared there. Then, various ingredients were prepared and the pot was placed there. The law of creation is really useful. Zhuge Feng laughed. It's too convenient. Xiao Xinyue said, the reward I exchanged from the God's awakening door is also the law of creation. In fact, many of them didn't even know about this thing. However, because of Lin Xian, they understood. Oh my God, this law is really powerful. Then, when they exchanged, they actually discovered the law of creation. Many of them wanted to exchange for something else at first, but in the end, they all exchanged for the law of creation. Murong Yu, Wang Xintong, Han Chuxue, and Xiao Xinyue all exchanged for the law of creation. Ling Ying exchanged for the law of destruction. Because of Lin Xian, they knew how useful this thing was. However, Chapter 17:21. After they exchanged for it and tried it for a long time, they found that it wasn't that simple. It was so difficult to use. Although they could use their minds, it wasn't that easy. They found that it wasn't the creation law that was powerful, but Lin Xian. They were all creation laws, but they couldn't do it as easily as Lin Xian. Xiao Xinyue then looked at Lin Xian and asked, but it's not convenient for me to use it. It consumes a lot, and the effect isn't as strong as yours. Lin Xian expected this because he obtained it from the system and directly maxed it out. Moreover, Lin Xian's spiritual power and soul power were very strong. Well, the law of creation is very useful, but the law of creation consumes spiritual energy and soul force. You have to reach a high level in these two aspects to be able to better display the power of the law of creation. The same is true for the law of destruction. However, in some small matters, these two things are very useful, but you might not be too familiar with them, or you might not have enough strength, so you need to practice. Feng Ling also nodded. Well, it's really difficult to use. You must pay attention. Don't force yourself to use this law to do things beyond your ability. Otherwise, the consequences will be very serious. Yes, Lin Xian told us about this. It's also because of this that I feel that this law is really difficult to use. Every time I want to use it, I have to think about whether or not it can be done, or whether or not it will be dangerous for me. This is especially true when I'm facing a stronger opponent in battle. It's even harder to divert my attention to consider such things. I already have to be fully focused on the battle, so where would I find the time to think about such things? Ling Ying said helplessly. She knew that it was very strong, but she felt that it would be better to choose something else at that time. Now that she had exchanged for the destruction law, it gave her a headache. She regretted it. She originally thought that she was a warrior similar to an agility-type warrior who paid attention to killing. She felt that the destruction law would be very useful if she could display her ability to the extreme. However, she felt that it would be better to exchange for the creation law. It was very useful in ordinary times. Lin Xian said, "Use it more and practice more." I was like this at that time. I even vomited a lot of blood and found my limit little by little. They nodded. Then, various ingredients were added into the pot. If I had known, I would have exchanged for this item too. Why didn't you tell me in advance? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian. Get lost. Are you a pretty girl? Zhuge Feng smiled awkwardly. Alright, I got it. I'll just eat my food. Lin Xian then said, the law of destruction. Ling Ying, remember one thing when you use it. If you're at the same level, the most you can do is injure him. Moreover, don't injure him severely. At most, you'll just break a finger. Although this isn't very useful, the sudden pain will cause your enemy to panic. If your enemy's level is lower than yours by 1 star, the most you can do is injure him severely. However, if your enemy's innate talent and other aspects are very strong, don't try to injure him severely. If your enemy's level is lower than yours by 2 stars, you can probably do whatever you want. Ling Ying nodded. Sure. She felt much better now that she had a plan. The law of creation is actually harder to control than the law of destruction. This is because I use the law of creation more for healing and to increase my own attributes. Healing is fine, but if it's increasing attributes, you can only try it out slowly to see how much you can increase them without injuring yourself. At the same time, you have to ensure that your spiritual energy is sufficient for the upcoming battle. Lin Xian said to the other girls. Yes, we've already tried this, so we have a rough idea. As long as you get used to it slowly, I feel that there shouldn't be a problem. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, as long as you get used to it, there shouldn't be a problem. However, you must remember one thing. You can break an arm or a leg, but don't try to create life. Even if it's an ant, don't try it. There's a very useful part, which is that no matter what you want to do with the law of creation, try it out first and see how much it costs. Then, take your time. They nodded. They would definitely keep Lin Xian's words in mind. This was because Lin Xian was indeed powerful, and he was already very proficient in this aspect. I originally wanted to choose the spatial attribute, but in the end, I still chose the law of destruction. I regret it a little, Ling Ying said as he ate a mouthful of beef. This kind of thing is actually more powerful than the spatial attribute. However, it requires you to be strong enough in order to unleash more power. Lin Xian then created a dipping sauce for the law of creation and passed it to them. Then, you can help us make some plans for the next few days. Xiao Xinyue looked at Lin Xian and said. Lin Xian was their captain, so they definitely had to listen to Lin Xian. Lin Xian stroked his chin and took out a map. This is the map of the Demon God Empire. According to the current intelligence, which is of course from a few years ago, we are now here. We are still 2,000 kilometers away from the border of the Demon God Empire. After entering the border, after another 500 kilometers, we will reach the first demon race city of the Demon God Empire, Demon Wind City. I know about Demon Wind City. Basically, some experts from the human race will at most go to Demon Wind City. I heard that many experts have been there. Wu Yuhan said. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, my idea is to take it down. Everyone was speechless. When they heard Lin Xian's words, they were dumbfounded. What the F***CK? This. Big brother, are you serious? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian. Han Chushue looked at Lin Xian and said, even though Monster Wind City isn't the #1 city, there should be quite a number of heavenly Dao within it. We don't even have a single heavenly Dao. So, how should we handle this? Wu Yunhua took a sip of wine and said with a smile, don't tell me you want us to sell our bodies? Big brother, can you not always say such shocking things? Feng Ling touched her forehead. They had been given a fright. Lin Xian said, that's really what I'm thinking. Demon Wind City is a border city. At the same time, It also means that Demon Wind City's strength is inferior to other cities. It is also the best city to take action. To us, raising our realms to the Heavenly Tao realm is of utmost importance. Uncle Morong said that we should join a faction so that we can use the clash between factions to kill fey beasts in a reasonable manner. It will achieve the effect of safely and quickly raising our realms. Therefore, if we take this city for ourselves, it will be even easier. But, even so, how are the 10 of us at the Great Void Realm going to achieve this? Wang Xintong blinked and said, I have a rough plan. It might take some time. Let's talk about it when we arrive. All right. Chapter 1722. 2 days later. The 10 of them came to a place not far from Monster Wind City. Here, they often saw some powerful demonic beasts loitering around, and there were traces of battle everywhere. Some of them were even extremely terrifying traces of battle. Obviously, the demon race was indeed a very chaotic place. The continent was a place where the strong were respected, and among the demon race, this was even more vividly reflected. Like the human race, at least there were some so-called laws to control them, but the demon race did not have these, so it was even more chaotic and dangerous. Of course, they also saw many powerful demonic beasts who had transformed into human form. However, they had all taken the demon aura pill, so under normal circumstances, as long as those people did not have any other intentions, they would not be in too much danger. But, up until now, they had already fought many battles. It was not that some people were looking for trouble because they did not like them, nor were they looking for trouble because of their treasures. After the demon race transformed into human form, especially those who lived in the cities of the demon god empire, they did not have any sense of territory. Other than the overlords of the demon race in the wild, they did not allow others to enter their territory easily. Those who came looking for trouble and wanted to kill them only had one reason, and that was, they were too beautiful. Oh my God! I can't take it anymore. Zhuge Feng had just finished a battle, and then sat there to catch his breath. The 10 of them had just fought 6, 8, 9, and 10 stars demon race experts of the Great Void Realm. They had just killed them, and they were exhausted. What's wrong? Lin Xian asked. Zhuge Feng wiped the corner of his mouth and said, Captain, we met 5 groups of demonic beasts who had transformed into human form along the way, and they took the initiative to attack us, all because they coveted their beauty. His tone was very helpless. Lin Xian scratched his head. Beauties, whether in the human race or the demon race, were coveted by men, not to mention a group of beauties of such quality walking together. Tell me, when those demonic beasts passing by looked at them, who would not have some thoughts? This is indeed a problem. Lin Xian looked at them. Let's not talk about anything else. Let's just talk about bringing them to Monster Wind City and walking on the streets of Monster Wind City. What the F***CK, wouldn't that cause a huge problem? Don't worry. It may be chaotic outside, but there are clear rules in the cities of the Demon God Empire. You can't fight directly in the cities of each force. You can only fight in the arena or leave the city. Morong Yu said. Lin Xian, arena? What rules? Morong Yu shook her head. I don't know, but it does exist in every city. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Then we can go directly to Wicked Wind City's duel arena to take a look. After we make a name for ourselves, I reckon that the leader of the forces in Wicked Wind City will take the initiative to rope us in. At that time, many things will be much simpler. Lin Xian. Yes, sure. Do we need to disguise ourselves? Wang Xintong asked. Nah, don't. I don't think there's a need for that. We can still fight ordinary Heavenly Tao experts. Besides, the ones in the arena are probably top experts. If we can encounter a Heavenly Tao and slay a Heavenly Tao, our cultivation realm will rise even faster. If we want to quickly reach the Heavenly Tao realm, with the help of the God Sun system, the easiest way is to kill a Heavenly Tao above our level. The experience gained is still sufficient. Lin Xian. Isn't that too dangerous? Lin Xian. I fought Heavenly Tao realm existences before. Ordinary Heavenly Tao realm 1-star existences should be fine. I don't think it's too much of a problem. As long as we don't fight those high-level heavenly Tao, it'll be fine. I reckon those high-level heavenly Tao won't participate in the arena anyway. Yeah. Let's take a look first. Following that, they headed for Wicked Wind City. Soon, the massive Wicked Wind City came into view. Wicked Wind City was a fey city. It resembled the ancient cities in television dramas. It had high city walls and a gigantic city gate. Inside were houses and streets. The Fae did not have any high-tech gadgets like computers and televisions. It was more like they lived in ancient times. Of course, there were a few exceptions. Wicked Wind City's gates were wide open. There weren't many people entering and exiting the city gates, but it was definitely not a small number. The appearance of Lin Xian and company instantly attracted the attention of many Fae experts. Quick, look over there. How beautiful! Why are there so many beauties? Why don't we get one? Are you mad? Look at the 10 of them. These women don't look simple. Especially when they dare to appear here together. Do you think they don't have the confidence to act so ostentatiously? If you don't wish to die, it's best you don't provoke them before you know their background and strength. That's right. This was Lin Xian's thoughts. Anyone with a brain would definitely be suspicious when they saw these beauties. Why would they dare to appear here so openly? They must have some sort of confidence, right? So, on the contrary, they might not dare to make a move. They easily entered Wicked Wind City, and no one stopped them. There weren't many rules between the major cities of the Fey God Empire, and there was no so-called currency. In these Fey God Empire cities, transactions relied on various spiritual items of heaven and earth. There was no money. There are so many people here. They walked on the streets of Wicked Wind City and were a little surprised to see so many people coming and going. They thought that this Fey God Empire city would be very empty and there wouldn't be so many people. But now, it seemed that there were probably hundreds of thousands of experts in this city. Moreover, it should be known that most cities in the Fey God Empire only accepted Fey beasts that had taken human form. These Fey beasts had to be at least in the heavenly venerable realm to take human form. Of course, apart from those with extremely powerful bloodlines, they might be able to take human form at the lower realm. In other words, this city had hundreds of thousands of heavenly venerables and above. Let's see if there's anything good. In the city, the most you could see were experts setting up stalls by the roadside. There were all kinds of treasures on the stalls, and you could exchange them with other treasures. The premise was that both sides agreed to the exchange. The appearance of the 10 people attracted the attention of a large number of experts. Lin Xian and the others were still very nervous. It was like a few goats disguised as wolves and entered a pack of wolves. If they were slightly careless and exposed, they would be besieged by an entire city. Then, the 10 people walked around Wicked Wind City as if they were shopping. Young Master Lang, look ahead. In front, a few people walked over. Then, their gazes fell on Lin Xian and the others who were exchanging treasures at the roadside stalls. Chapter 17:23. It couldn't be helped, they were too eye-catching. In fact, it was fine to be alone, but when so many of them were together, you couldn't help but notice them. Lin Xian and the others had changed their clothes to a more ancient style, and they weren't particularly bright. Otherwise, if they came here wearing modern human clothes, wouldn't that be self-destructing? Lang Shi licked his lips. What kind of day is it in Evil Wind City today? Before, there was Lord Wu, and now there are so many devastatingly beautiful women. It's really unbelievable. Lang Shi licked his lips again, and then said, "Let's go, this young master has taken a fancy to that woman." He looked at Morongyu. Among so many beauties, Morongyu was indeed the most eye-catching one, because her blue hair was indeed more prominent. "Then young master, can we choose from the others?" Lang Shi smiled, and said, "Of course, follow this young master, and you will eat and drink well." At this time, the old man behind Lang Shi said, "Young master, we still have to be careful. Each of them looks extraordinary, and they don't look like ordinary people. Moreover, so many of them obviously came together, this is definitely not simple. This old man is even worried. Could they be people brought by Lord Wu? Or they could be people from other top forces, otherwise, they wouldn't have the guts to do so. It's better to be careful. If we're not careful, our entire clan might. Lang She frowned. Obviously, the old man's words made him afraid. That's right. He had never seen them before, and they did look extraordinary, and they didn't seem to be afraid at all. In other words, they had the courage to appear here, and they were not afraid of anything. Let's go and take a look first. Lang She originally planned to King kidnap them. Although it was not allowed in the city, it still depended on the person. Lang She's family was a top family in Evil Wind City, and their family had a good relationship with the Evil Wind City's city lord. He didn't dare to do anything too overboard, and he was afraid that the news would spread to the ears of the boss of the city, but kidnapping people was just a small matter. But for now, he still planned to go over and get in touch with them. After all, there were too many powerful forces in the Demon God Empire. Not to mention the major forces, just some of the clans among the major forces were not to be trifled with. There were too many of them. I can use this. Windling saw a blue leaf and took out a piece of crystal. How about this? That expert glanced over. Red Dragon Spirit, yes. Then, Windling completed the exchange with him. There are so many rare natural treasures here. Han Chushue muttered to herself. Many of them were things that were rarely seen in the human race. After all, it's close to 10,000 kilometers deep into the demon god empire of the demon race. Many of the things here are only found by the demon race. Very few humans can come here, and even if they do, it's very difficult to encounter these things. Therefore, the things that are hard to find in our world are endless here. Morongyu said, and then she frowned. May I know who you are? The corners of Lang She's mouth curled up as he smiled and extended his hand towards Morongyu. I'm Lang She, the young master of the Bloodthirsty Wolf clan in Fei Wind City. Lang She said. There's no need. Thank you. Morongyu replied nonchalantly. They knew that the Bloodthirsty Wolf was a relatively strong Fey beast. It was a Fey beast that had the qualifications to advance to the Heavenly Dao realm. Lang She, who looked 25 or 26 years old, was likely more than 1,000 years old. In the Fey race, 1,000 years was about the same as 20 years for humans. For example, although Linglong Shue's realm wasn't high, being only at the 2-star Heavenly Dao realm, her combat strength was not something the Bloodthirsty Wolf could compare with. Under normal circumstances, Linglong Shue could easily defeat the Bloodthirsty Wolf at the 4-star Heavenly Dao realm. She could even crush it. This was the suppression of the Fey race's bloodline. Linglong Shue possessed a top bloodline, just like the Fey race's dragons. In the eyes of the dragons, these were all despicable bloodlines. Linglong Shue's Void Fox was in existence on the same level as dragons, Qilins, and phoenixes. Under normal circumstances, Linglong Shue's arrival in Fei Wind City made her an overlord. Regardless of how many stars Fei Wind City had at the Heavenly Dao realm, they had to treat Linglong Shue with reverence. The Fey race was like that. They had an absolute difference in terms of bloodlines. I've never seen any of you before. Where are you from? Lang She asked with a smile, ignoring Morongyu's question. Let's go. Feng Ling walked over and said, Okay. Then, they ignored Lang She and walked away. Ka. Lang She clenched his fists tightly as he stared at their backs. Young master, don't be rash. The elder held back the enraged Lang She and said, Since they dare to ignore young master, it proves that they have no fear of our Bloodthirsty Wolf clan. After all, Lang She had already pointed out their identities, but Morongyu had responded coldly. She couldn't even be bothered with him. It proved that she wasn't afraid of them. Let's follow them. Perhaps they just don't want to cause trouble? Lin Xian and company walked on the streets. This Fei race's city is actually quite easy to get used to. There's nothing special about it. Ling Ying said. Yes, that's the case. Then, let's prepare to work. Have you asked about the arena? Wu Yunuo nodded. Yes, it's just ahead. What about the rules? There are many duels every day. There are individual battles and team battles. Team battles are held in groups of 10. Basically, the loser will be killed by the winner. Then, the winner will take away all the treasures they have. It doesn't matter if it's an individual battle or a team battle. If you can achieve 50 consecutive victories, you will be rewarded. There are also rewards for 80 consecutive victories. The most important thing is 100 consecutive victories. If you can achieve 100 consecutive victories, everyone will receive a drop of Fey God Blood Essence. Zhuge Feng was curious. Fey God Blood Essence? What's that? It is said that this rule was set by a powerful Fey race called the Blood Kirin. The Blood Kirins are a warlike race. They are also one of the 3 kings of the Fey God Empire. If you can achieve 100 consecutive victories, you can even join the Blood Kirin race. Wu Yunuo said. Blood Kirins. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. The Blood Kirins were a truly powerful Fey race. They belonged to the dragons and were a branch of the Kirins. The Kirins were divided into Fire Kirins, Water Kirins, Thunder Kirins, and so on. The Blood Kirins were one of them. Can we humans use them? Wang Xintong asked. Fengling said, of course. You can even gain great power. I think we can give it a try. Chapter 17:24. Lin Xian was very interested. If you know, on this continent, the strongest aren't humans. The most powerful are always dragons, phoenixes, Qilins, etc. Furthermore, they aren't just strong. Their existence has already exceeded the level of any bloodline on this continent. It's as though they are on a completely different level of existence. To put it simply, if you are at the Heavenly Dao 1-star realm, a pure-blooded dragon is also at the Heavenly Dao 1-star realm. Dragons can fight 100 Heavenly Dao 1 stars. If you obtain the blood essence of a Heavenly Dao 1-star dragon, your realm will soar. As for the dragons, they disdain a drop of your blood essence. They are trash. Therefore, you will feel that the gap is huge. Everyone is clearly at the Heavenly Dao 1-star realm, but how can it be like this? They are on a completely different level of existence. Therefore, this drop of Blood Qilin's blood essence can greatly enhance any one of Lin Xian and company. Yeah, let's put the rest aside for now. Let's see if we can achieve a 100-win streak. Lin Xian. It's difficult. Demon Wind City is most famous for its arena. Although every city has one, Demon Wind Cities is the biggest. At the same time, only those who achieve a 100-win streak in Demon Wind City's arena will be rewarded. Therefore, the truly famous people in the Demon God Empire will compete in Demon Wind City's arena. It's also the most difficult. Wu Yunuo then said, but it said that in 1,000 years, only one team has achieved a 100-win streak. That can't be, right? Only one team in 1,000 years? Wu Yunuo nodded. Yes, that person said. Firstly, it's extremely difficult to achieve a 100-win streak in this arena. It's even difficult to achieve a 10-win streak. This is because you will encounter teams with a winning streak. For example, if we win 10 matches in a row, we will encounter another team with a winning streak of 10 matches in the 11th match. If we win 50 matches in a row, we will encounter a team with a winning streak of around 50 matches in the 51st match. If we win 90 matches in a row, we will also encounter a team with a winning streak of around 90 matches in a row. Therefore, it's said that it's difficult to achieve a winning streak. The opponents will only get stronger. Secondly, if we are lucky enough to achieve a 99-win streak, we will encounter a genius duo from the Blood Qilin clan in the final match. We just need to defeat them. They were silent. Why don't we just forget about it? Fengling coughed and said, doesn't that mean he's dead for sure? That's not the case. In the 100th match against the Blood Kirin clan, they will guarantee the safety of their opponents. They can't guarantee the safety of their opponents before that. In fact, over the past few years, there have been quite a number of teams that have won 99 matches in a row. In the span of 1,000 years, there have been at least 50 teams, but all of them have fallen at the hands of the Blood Kirin clan. Wu Yunuo said. Lin Xian looked at them. What do you mean? I'll listen to you, Han Chushue said. They nodded. Yes, we'll listen to you. You're the captain. Lin Xian pondered for a moment before continuing. My thoughts are, first of all, this will greatly increase our combat strength and teamwork. With such cruel rules and powerful opponents, it will greatly improve our combat strength. Second of all, although this arena is dangerous, we aren't weak either. Moreover, we can use a very legitimate method to kill our opponents. Moreover, our opponents' realms are very high. As long as we can kill them quickly, the experience points we gain from killing them each day won't be less than what we gain from joining a force to fight. Zhuge Feng nodded. I agree. If we join a force, when we can fight is still a problem. After we fight, we can't guarantee how many opponents of high realms we can kill. Basically, whoever loses will die. Then, we just have to kill our opponents, and they're from the demon clan. There's no problem. Lin Xian nodded. Yes. Thirdly, if we can also get the essence blood of the blood Kirin. I think it's a good idea, but at the same time, it's very dangerous. Feng Ling said. Let's test the waters first. We're not weak. The opponents we'll encounter before should be some great void realm cultivators. The real threat is the heavenly path. If we all rise to the 10th level of the great void realm, we can fight the heavenly path. Lin Xian said. Okay. Then let's go and sign up directly. Okay. Then, they walked over together. It's so big. Looking at the huge arena in front of them, they were secretly shocked. It was really big. The biggest building they had ever seen was probably the stadium. This thing was as big as 5 stadiums. They were outside, and the excited and wild cheers coming from the entire arena were deafening. It feels very lively. Let's go. Then they walked in. Whoosh. The arena was so big. At first, they thought it was so big because they needed a big battlefield. After all, they were all experts, Great Void Realm, and Heavenly Path Realm cultivators. However, when they entered, they found that it was not like that. It was so big that it was full of spectators. Hundreds of thousands. And where were they fighting? A small world. There was a small world in the center area. They were in the small world, and the entire center was a huge screen that projected the fights in the small world. There are so many people. Actually, it's normal when you think about it. How many experts do we have in the human race? The demon race will only have more than us. It's just that they are not as united. It's normal for hundreds of thousands of celestial venerables and above to gather here. Feng Ling said. But, why are they willing to waste time to watch the fight? Murong Yu muttered to herself. Yeah, why? Wu Yuhan and the rest were puzzled. Normally speaking, those who watched martial arts competitions were ordinary martial artists. How could they have so much free time to watch martial arts competitions? Wasn't it better to cultivate? It was normal for some to come, but hundreds of thousands of such experts were here. That was abnormal. There must be a reason. It's a bet, Xiao Xinue said. Xiao Xinue said. She then pointed to the side. Look. They looked over. There was a huge screen that displayed some data. It was the data of the bets, and then there was a description of the bets. All kinds of heaven and earth spiritual items were used as bets, and then the payout was based on the odds. If they won, their own treasures would be returned to them. At the same time, they would compensate others' treasures and a crystal called the Heavenly Demon Crystal. The Heavenly Demon Crystal could be directly absorbed by demonic beasts for cultivation. If there were enough of it, the cultivation speed would not be slow. In fact, it was a common and necessary cultivation method for the demon race. However, the Heavenly Demon Crystal vein was basically controlled by the top forces. Ordinary demons did not have the channels and could only use other heaven and earth spiritual items to exchange for it. They also understood why these people did not cultivate but came to gamble. It was because of the Heavenly Demon Crystal. Chapter 17:25. Lin Xian smiled and said, The demon race is the same as the human race. They have all kinds of gamblers' mentality. That's right. For these top demon clans, they basically have some treasures and worldly treasures. They have the capital. At the same time, if they win, they can win other worldly treasures and heavenly demon crystals. In the demon clan, heavenly demon crystals are very rare. Unless it's a top demon clan, an individual or even a great void realm demon beast can only exchange worldly treasures for heavenly demon crystals. In the image, 20 people were fighting. They looked at the two teams. They should all be above the Great Void stage 5 stars and below the Heavenly Tao. Soon, all 10 people in one team were killed, and 3 of the 10 people in the other team were killed. The 7 survivors took all the spatial rings and treasures from their bodies. As for the winning team, if they wanted to continue participating, they had to either fight against 10 people with 7 of them or find 3 people who had the same winning streak as them to join them. Everyone had a badge on their chest. This badge contained the data of the arena and recorded their winning streak. Of course, they didn't lose, because losing meant death. Too cruel. Wang Xintong opened her mouth. Lin Xian said, "Let's go and sign up." Then, the 10 of them went to the registration office. "You want to sign up for the Death Arena competition, right?" Lin Xian nodded. "Yes, what's the procedure?" "Please pay at least a heaven stage treasure or a treasure of the same value. Then, you need to name your team." Lin Xian then took out a crystal. "Is that enough?" "Yes." The woman then entered something on what looked like a computer. Although they were demon race and generally didn't have technology, there were still many places that had it and needed it. "Please name your team, and make sure that there are no duplicate team names." Lin Xian looked at them and said, "Let's call it the Storm Team." "Do you have it?" "Storm Team can be used. Are you sure you want to use this team name?" "Yes." After a while, the girl handed them 10 badges. "Please ensure that you do not discard your badge. Otherwise, all your winning streaks will be wiped out, and you will have to start all over again. After every match, if you win, you will receive 1,000th of all the treasures and heavenly fey crystals as a reward. The amount of heavenly fey crystals is fixed, and it will increase according to your winning streaks. For every 10 consecutive victories, the grade of heavenly fey crystals will increase by a level." Lin Xian and the others nodded in understanding. It was no wonder that it could attract so many teams to fight. It turned out that other than 30, 50, and 80 wins, there were top-notch rewards for 100 consecutive wins. Every winner would also receive a handsome reward. Putting aside the fact that heavenly demon crystals were a necessity for them, this was the wager of several 100,000 top powerhouses. If you win, you can obtain 1,000th of these bets. Don't think that 1,000th of a chance isn't a lot. With hundreds of thousands of experts betting on it, 1,000th of a chance could really be a lot. "So when will Storm be preparing for the battle?" the woman asked. Lin Xian asked, "When can we?" The woman said, "Today, there are a total of 5 teams that have registered with 0 matches. 4 teams have already fought, and 1 team is waiting for an opponent. If you register now, we can arrange for you to compete with them in the next round." Lin Xian nodded. "Register now." "Good. Your registration has been completed. Please wait at the backstage." Then, Lin Xian and the others were taken away by a girl. Behind them, Lang She and the others walked over, and he frowned. "They are here to participate in the battle?" Lang She didn't quite understand. If they were very powerful, why would they come to participate in the battle? "Don't tell me they don't have any power?" Lang She pondered for a moment. "Young master, don't be careless. Although most people come to the arena for the rewards, there are still many people who come from very powerful forces. They are here purely to test themselves, and most of them are experts from top forces. I took a look at them, and they don't seem to be simple. It's best not to rush to conclusions." Lang She nodded. "And that makes sense. Let's wait and see how they fight." Then, Lang She went over and asked, "When will those people fight?" The woman glanced at him and said, "Sorry, we don't disclose any information about the participants. I'm just asking. I am the young master of the Bloodthirsty Wolf clan. If it's not the Blood Qilin clan, then any force is useless. You. The old man hurriedly stopped Lang She. Young master, don't be angry. The Blood Qilin clan is behind the Death Corner arena. Humph. Lang She snorted coldly. Backstage. This was a room with only 10 people, including Lin Xian. Tea was prepared for them, and they could even watch the fight through the screen in the room. Soon, the next fight began. Of course, during this period, those people went to different places to place their bets in an orderly manner. Oh, what team is this? The payout is 3,100. Lin Xian lit a cigarette. With such a high payout, it must be a very famous team in the Death Corner arena. Moreover, it should be a team that has won many matches in a row. However, their opponent should also be a team that has won almost the same number of matches in a row. With such a high payout, it's enough to see how strong this blood-red battle team is. Before the two teams started fighting, no one knew who their opponent was. Only when they went on stage and faced each other, would they know who their opponent was. However, when the fight was about to start, the people outside would be able to see who was fighting who before the bets were placed. At this moment, a beautiful host held a microphone in her hand. Everyone, the bets are done. Next, let us prepare to enjoy the match between the Blood-Red Battle Team and the Scorpio Battle Team. What followed was a heart-wrenching cheer. The Blood-Red Battle Team has a total of 52 consecutive victories. The Scorpio Battle Team has a total of 51 consecutive victories. Will the Blood-Red Battle Team continue to maintain their winning streak, or will the Scorpio Battle Team break the Blood-Red Battle Team's dominance? Let us wait and see. Now, we will randomly draw the map. Then, the big screen began to flash between various maps. This is quite good. There are still many maps. Ling Ying mumbled while sucking on a lollipop. It is quite good. After we take down this arena, we will be greatly improved in all aspects. Lin Xian. Let's take a look at this team first. Who knows when we will meet them? Moreover, let's see what the 50-plus consecutive victories stage is. Chapter 17:26. If they wanted to continue fighting here, they had to have a rough idea of the realms of the teams here. Then, the two teams began fighting on the map. The Blood-Red Battle Team has 10 people. 3 of them are at the 1 star of the Heavenly Dao Realm and 7 are at the 10-star Great Void Realm. Thankfully, such a team can obtain more than 50 consecutive victories. Morongyu sighed slightly. The other team is the Scorpio Battle Team. 2 of them are at the 1 star of the Heavenly Dao Realm and 8 are at the 10-star Great Void Realm. The difference between them is 1 Heavenly Dao. This is also why so many gamblers bet on the Blood-Red Battle Team. The odds are in the thousands. The difference of 1 Heavenly Dao is indeed substantial. Han Chushue muttered as she watched the battle. This also means that we might not encounter a team with a Heavenly Dao Realm in our first dozen consecutive victories, right? Wang Xintong asked. Not necessarily. This is also a matter of luck. If there happens to be a team with a Heavenly Dao Realm and they have just started fighting, with the same winning streak as us, there is still a chance of encountering them. It might even be troublesome if we encounter a team with a Heavenly Dao Realm that we have never fought before in our first match. Lin Xian. However, this is indeed a very important opportunity to improve. Everyone has consumed the demonic aura pill, right? Asked Feng Ling. Yeah. Wu Yunuo said, actually, there isn't much to say in the Death Corner arena. Oh. Lin Xian looked at Wu Yunuo. Back then, I specifically asked him about it. That person said that it's not as if no human battle teams have ever come to the Death Corner arena. Furthermore, no one said that human battle teams are not allowed to participate. As long as you have the ability, you can participate if you want. At the very least, in this Death Corner arena, the human race and the Yao race enjoy the same treatment. However, it's best not to reveal your identity as a human, because no one would dare to violate the rules here. Going against the Blood Qilin clan's rules, but you will inevitably be targeted when you leave. Everyone nodded. Then, let's make our preparations. Do we need any tactics later? Lin Xian said, we don't need too many tactics. After all, we don't know who our opponents are. All we need to do is cooperate with each other and act according to the situation. Alright. The 10 of them had a clear division. Zhuge Feng, Wang Xintong, and the others were more in charge of supporting and filling in the positions. Zhuge Feng's ability was very strong, but his abilities were mostly related to the 5 elements and 4 symbols, as well as various buffs to others. He was more suited to be a support, but why did Lin Xian like Zhuge Feng and want him to join their team? This was because other than his outstanding ability, he wasn't like other people who wanted to show off their abilities. He was willing to be in the support position, and he was open-minded about it. Although in the eyes of others, the most eye-catching person in a team was the vanguard, he believed that he could also be eye-catching as a support. Zhuge Feng would not say that he forced himself to be the vanguard. Because of this, Lin Xian felt that Zhuge Feng was not bad. He was very suitable for the role. Han Chuxue and Xiao Xinyue's main positions were control. They both had the ice attribute, and the ice attribute was a very strong control attribute. At the same time, their speed was also very fast. Their control was definitely enough, and they could also ensure their own safety. Ling Ying, Wu Yuhan, and Wu Yunuo's 3 positions were damage output. They all had the dark attribute, and all of them had the dark attribute with full purity. Even Wu Yuhan and Wu Yunuo had the powerful dark fog. The 3 of them were the main damage output. Feng Ling and Murong Yu were control and damage output. They had strong attack abilities and the space attribute. Now, they also had the creation precept. Murong Yu also had the time attribute. They did more things, such as supporting Ling Ying and the others, using space and time to help them. At the same time, they would also help them deal damage, block enemies, and assist them in attacking their main targets, etc. Lin Xian's position was protection. Although Lin Xian's position was protection, his position was more of a true control. Lin Xian had all the attributes, the creation precept, and the destruction precept. He could have any ability he wanted. Therefore, whatever his teammates needed, Lin Xian would generally be able to help. Therefore, Lin Xian was more of an absolute control. In other words, Lin Xian had to do the most. At the same time, Lin Xian could also be the highest damage output. For example, if an opponent needed a fatal blow, Lin Xian could give that fatal blow. This was the distribution of the 10 people in their team. Of course, this was only an overall distribution. After the battle started, they would fight according to this orderly positioning. However, battles were ever-changing. Every one of them had a position, and that was to fight according to the overall situation. They would fight according to their positioning. Whatever they needed to do, they could do it. This was because each of them had this ability. Even Wang Xintong, who was probably the least outstanding in terms of attributes among them, had been trying to improve her combat skills from the start. Her combat skills were not weak at all. If you asked her to suddenly attack someone, she would be able to do it. It was just that she was more suited to support this positioning. Why? Wang Xintong's precept was the light precept. The effect of the light precept was to increase her and her teammates' speed, defense, and strength. This precept was a support. Her precept was to increase the realm of her teammates and herself. This was also a support. However, Wang Xintong was in the team, and her personality was not to fight for it. This battle, as expected, ended with the victory of that bloody battle. As for the other 10 people, other than the 2 Heavens Dao, the other 8 had all died a violent death. The Heavenly Dao would not die so easily. Why did the loser have to die? That was because the victor wanted them dead. They were injured and unable to resist, so they had no choice but to die. However, for the Heavenly Dao, even if they were injured, they would not be injured to a great extent when facing a Heavenly Dao of the same realm. They could drag it out and wait for the battle to end before coming out of the map. Therefore, they would not die. The Heavenly Dao realm is so strong. Wang Xintong mumbled. Definitely. Work hard. We need to attempt to break through to the Heavenly Dao in a short period of time. Although Uncle Murong gave us a year, I'm thinking that we can all attempt to break through to the heavenly Tao in half a year. If we can fight our way through this death arena, we might even have the chance to kill a few heavenly Tao each. With our talent, it shouldn't be a problem, but it's still difficult to achieve it, said Wu Yuno lightly. Then, she reached out her hand and pulled out a lollipop from Ling Ying's pocket. Ling Ying rolled his eyes and did not say a word. Yes, prepare to go on stage. Chapter 17:27. Amidst the cheers, the Sanguine battle team walked out. Those who bet on the Scorpio battle team were purely hoping for an upset. Unfortunately, how could there be so many upsets? Let us congratulate the Sanguine battle team for obtaining 53 consecutive victories and defeating a strong opponent, the Scorpio battle team. Now, may the two battle teams please come down and rest. Soon, we will welcome the next match. For the next match, both Battle Team and Overlord Battle Team are new battle teams that have not fought before. Give them 10 minutes to warm up. At the same time, everyone can start placing their bets. At this moment, someone came to Lin Xian's room. Everyone from Battle Team, please follow me. Prepare to start your match. Lin Xian and the rest nodded and followed him out. Outside, those people looked at each other. Two new battle teams. Not interesting. Not necessarily. There might be a surprise. It's just that. It's not easy for us to place our bets. What's the big deal? It's 50-50. If we try our luck, we might get rich. These two new battle teams are worth watching. Overlord Battle Team? Do you guys think that this Overlord Battle Team is from the Earth War Bear clan? That's possible. Earth War Bears like to call themselves Overlord. After all, they are a strong race. If it's an Earth War Bear, then we still have to bet on Overlord Battle Team. That's right. Then, those people started placing their bets. 10 minutes later, the betting stopped. The odds were 10-1. That's right. If they bet on Lin Xian's battle team, they would earn 10 if they won. Normally, the odds would be 1-1. However, because there was news that Overlord Battle Team might be an Earth War Bear, more people chose to bet on a battle team that was more confident. Next, let's welcome Overlord Battle Team. One of the doors opened, and 10 people walked out from there. Wow, then, there was cheering. It's really an Earth War Bear. Luckily, I didn't bet on that battle team. The Earth War Bear's battle prowess is still very strong. It can even crush opponents of a higher realm than it. In a normal battle team, the weaker ones would be at least 1 or 2 stars of the Absolute Void stage. I reckon that the Earth War Bear clan would be at least 7, 8, 9, or even 10 stars. They should have come here to train. Don't tell me that this Storm Squad is just a bunch of trash at the initial level of the Great Virtual Stage? The host then shouted, "Next, let's welcome Overlord Team's opponent, Storm Team." Then, the door on the other side opened, and Lin Xian and the others walked out. Whoosh! Another wave of exclamations rang out. The reason for this exclamation was very simple. Oh my God, this Storm Team has so many beautiful girls. Hiss. So beautiful, every one of them is so beautiful. His temperament isn't bad either. How can there be so many beautiful girls forming a team? Everyone, they don't seem to be that simple. Although the Earth War Bear clan is very strong, but they really don't look simple. This match is going to be interesting. Damn. Lin Xian's mouth twitched when he saw the opponents in front of them. There were 10 opponents, and every one of them was over 2 meters tall, burly men with explosive muscles and hair all over their bodies. It felt like their muscles could lift them up with one hand and crush them. Then, look at them. They were fair and tender, and looked so weak. Ha ha ha. The Earth War Bear clan couldn't help but laugh when they saw Lin Xian and the others. A bunch of girls, ha ha ha, I really can't bear to kill them. Heh, I can crush them with one hand. Hey, opposite, how many hands do you need us to give you? Ha ha ha. Many people laughed when they heard this. Although some people felt that Lin Xian's group wasn't simple because they looked too beautiful, they felt that they might have an extraordinary background. But to be honest, at first glance, their aura was completely one-sided. Lin Xian said to them, 2 Virtuality Realm 10 stars, 5 9 stars, and 3 8 stars. The Earth War Bear clan has strong defense and strength, but they're relatively slow. Understood. Then they're finished. Wu Yunuo's lips curled up slightly. Lin Xian, 30 seconds are up. Roger. They didn't bother to reply to the Earth War Bear clan. Ha ha ha, look, they're so scared that they can't speak, ha ha ha. The Earth War Bear clan laughed. Lang Shi and the others were watching from the audience. We'll see what realm they are in soon. Then, the female host said, next, we'll start to randomly select the map, and the map will start to roll. Stop. Finally, the map rolled to the volcanic area. Next, please enter the map. After entering, the battle will start immediately. Then, Lin Xian and the others directly walked in. Swish. 10 people appeared at the same location. This map was near a volcano. It was about the size of 3 to 5 small districts. There was also a volcano. At this moment, magma was flowing and the temperature was very high. In front of them, 10 Earth War Bear clan powerhouses appeared. Start the battle. Lin Xian said. Roger. Wang Xintong's body shone. Law of Light. Activate the domain. Swish. The strength of the 10 of them began to soar at the same time. Zhuge Feng's right foot slightly stepped, and a 5 elements 4 symbols diagram appeared on the ground below them. 3 of the 8 gates. 3 gates open. Hurry. 2 gates open. Strength. The speed and strength of the 10 people soared again. Space lock. Lin Xian, Feng Ling, and Murong Yu's space erupted at the same time. The Earth War Bear clan looked around. Space? Destroy it for me. Yes. Then, they bombarded the space that sealed them with terrifying strength. Kill. Lin Xian said. Roger. When the dark attribute reached 100% purity, there would be an effect, which was to break the defense. No matter how strong their defense was, the dark attribute could break it. Shadow Cage. Those Earth War Bears who were bombarding the space were all controlled in an instant. One had to know that no matter how strong they were, Lin Xian and the others were now under the double enhancement of Wang Xintong and Zhuge Feng. In fact, in all aspects, except for strength, they had already crushed them. He was just an uncouth fellow. They liked him the most. Charge. Whoosh. 20 seconds later. Plop. One by one, the Earth War Bears fell to the ground. Everyone was speechless. This? Everyone widened their eyes. Their realms are obviously similar. Why are the Earth War Bears being crushed? If their realms are similar, it should be the Earth War Bears crushing others. Sure enough, they're not that simple. Hiss. Chapter 1728. The realms of Lin Xian and the others were about the same as the 10 people from the Earth War Bear clan. However, the Earth War Bear clan could easily fight across realms. So why was Lin Xian and the others able to defeat them so easily? Their strength was one reason. Zhuge Feng and Wang Xintong's enhancement was the second reason. The third reason was the strength of Lin Xian, Wu Yunuo, Wu Yuhan, and Ling Ying. What was the most difficult part about the Earth War Bear clan? Their strong defensive abilities. On the other hand, the dark element, which was at its highest purity, was able to ignore any form of defense. The defensive spiritual power that they had released was rendered ineffective. While it was troublesome to deal with due to their powerful physiques, Lin Xian's dark flame was able to directly seal off the space where they were standing. The dark flame also ignored their defense and weakened their physique. Then, they were crushed by the various dark attribute powers. In fact, they didn't use much of their strength. There were still many things they didn't use. The Earth War Bear clan was quite powerful, but there was still a gap between them and Lin Xian and the others. In the Goblin clan, the Earth War Bear clan was not a goblin clan with a head bloodline. This kind of uncouth fellow was the type of opponent that Lin Xian and the others liked to fight. The experts outside were all shocked. For a moment, they all quieted down. Only some people were whispering. Dark flame, that's the dark flame, right? They were shocked that Lin Xian and the others won so easily. One of the experts shouted in shock. What? Dark flame? Could it be the same clan as that person? It must be. If that's the dark flame, then in the whole world, only the Dark Phoenix clan of the Phoenix bloodline can control the dark flame. They are really not simple. Hiss. I feel that this death arena is going to burn again. Other things aside, the Dark Phoenix was an existence that was on the same level as the Blood Qilin. It was the ceiling of the Goblin clan. Now, Lin Xian might have been branded with the Dark Phoenix clan's brand. This? Lang Shi and the others swallowed their saliva. Young master, it's fortunate that this old man stopped you in time. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. The old man was also secretly shocked as he spoke. The Phoenix bloodline. It was too terrifying. They weren't sure about the others, but they believed that Lin Xian was of the Phoenix bloodline. Dark Phoenix. Lang Shi felt a chill run down his spine. Something King big almost happened. However, their cultivation levels are, after all, not high. Lang Shi said. Even if their realms aren't high, for the geniuses of the Phoenix bloodline to come here for the trial, I'm afraid that within this Demon Wind City, there might even be terrifying Phoenix experts secretly protecting them. Lang Shi said, Isn't the Dark Phoenix bloodline already in decline? How can there be such young descendants? Many years ago, the Dark Phoenix bloodline suffered a powerful curse. Since then, the Dark Phoenix clan has been on the decline. Although they still have the power of the top tier, their bloodline can no longer be passed down. I'm afraid there are no more than 5 Dark Phoenixes left in the world today. But, what if there is a Dark Phoenix who was not cursed and passed down the bloodline? In other words, this person, he is very likely. Otherwise, how can we explain it? Young master, don't provoke him. Even if the girls beside him don't have any special identities, just him alone is enough. Lang Shi nodded. This young master can still distinguish the severity of the matter. This Earth War Bear clan, they can only swallow this anger. The old man looked at the few people in the distant spectator seats. They were the experts of the Earth War Bear clan. They could only watch as their clansmen were killed, but they couldn't take revenge. Then the beautiful host said excitedly, What a wonderful battle! Although this battle was very short, the Storm Battle Team showed us the shadow of a powerful battle team. We believe that in the future, the Storm Battle Team will continue to win. Let's wait and see how the Storm Battle Team will perform in the dozens of consecutive victories in the future. Lin Xian's Team won. According to the Earth War Bear's battle strength, if nothing unexpected happened, they should be able to obtain 30 consecutive victories. And Lin Xian's team crushed the Earth War Bear. If nothing unexpected happened, they should have a chance to obtain 40 consecutive victories, as long as they didn't meet a team with Tian Dao. The arena was filled with cheers. This battle was worthy of their shouts and cheers. Especially when they thought that Lin Xian was from the Phoenix clan, they respected him. Swish swish swish, they appeared on the stage outside. Then their badges flashed, and 1 point was recorded in each of them. Everyone, please go backstage and rest. Also, your rewards will be sent to you soon. Lin Xian nodded, and then they walked away. After walking away, they signed up for the next battle. In the next battle, they would also face a 1-win team. How was it? In the backstage room, Lin Xian asked. I feel like I didn't do anything. Han Chushue said indifferently. Yeah, I also feel like I didn't do anything. I just used the space attribute, and it's fine. Feng Ling said. We are too strong, haha. Ling Ying said with a smile. Lin Xian said with a smile, that's also part of the reason. The more important reason is that the Earth War Bear clan has no advantage in our hands at all. Instead, it's their weakness. If it were other monsters of this quality, it wouldn't be so simple. Their speed is too slow. Even if we don't seal them with space, we can easily win. They nodded. Many of the following battles may be very boring, but let's just treat it as farming monsters. At the same time, we will accumulate some natural treasures to refine and improve our realm. Let's set a small goal: 50 consecutive victories in 3 months. Lin Xian. Isn't that too fast? It seems like you think that we can fight a few battles a day now. 50 battles. Then wouldn't it be over in a month? In fact, that's not the case. It's not fast. Don't forget, in the later stages, we can probably only fight 1 battle a day or even 1 battle every few days. Our opponents in the future are all powerful existences with dozens of consecutive victories. If we get injured, we may need to rest for several days. Oh right. Zhuge Feng said, with 50 consecutive victories, we will probably encounter the heavenly Tao after about 40 consecutive victories, right? Lin Xian nodded. There's a chance. That's the true experiential training. Our experiential training is at the end. Let's see if anyone can advance to the heavenly Tao realm during this period. When we were walking over, why did I hear someone say that you are from the Phoenix race? Xiao Xinyue asked. Chapter 1729. This was not something that Lin Xian had considered. Phoenix. Lin Xian thought for a moment. Dark fire. Perhaps he had used this power to make them mistakenly think that he was from the Dark Phoenix bloodline like Huang Shi? Ah. I know a powerhouse from the Phoenix clan. It's Huang Shi that some of you have seen before. Wow. She's a phoenix? Wang Xintong exclaimed. Lin Xian nodded. Perhaps they saw that I used her power and thought that I was from the Phoenix bloodline, Lin Xian said. That's a good thing. Feng Ling sat there and said. Click. Lin Xian lit a cigarette. Yes, it's a good thing. Xiao Xinyue nodded and said, in the demon clan, bloodline suppression is very serious. It's even more serious than our so-called status in the human clan. In front of absolute bloodline, you may have a higher realm, but you may be afraid of a demon clan with a higher bloodline. Lin Xian made them mistakenly think that he was from the Phoenix bloodline. This will make them afraid of something, Wu Yuhan said. For example, someone wants to kill us, but they don't dare to. For example, if we lose, they may kill us directly if it's someone else. But if it's us, they may not dare to kill us because they are afraid that they will die if they kill us. Lin Xian nodded. That's right. This is good news. They will probably think that we are from the Phoenix bloodline who came out to train. Perhaps there are powerful existences from the Phoenix bloodline secretly protecting us from behind. Uft. They chuckled. This is really interesting. Wu Yunuo crossed her legs. Just like that. 2 months passed. Lin Xian and the other 10 people really stayed in Demon Wind City for 2 months. They barely stepped out of Demon Wind City. When it came to eating, they had the law of creation and could eat whatever they wanted. They also had mobile phones. If they missed someone, at night, when they were free, they could make a call or video call. It was still all right. In the past 2 months, all 10 of them had reached the 10 stars of the Great Void stage. Everyone was preparing to break through to the Heavenly Tao stage. However, the Heavenly Tao was not that easy. They still needed more opportunities. They yearned to ascend to the Heavenly Tao, to ascend to the pinnacle of the realm that all of them looked forward to. However, just like Lin Xian, they didn't want to take shortcuts. If you take this kind of shortcut, you might be in the Heavenly Tao now, but you might not be as strong as when you entered the Heavenly Tao. Then why be in such a hurry? During this period of time, the evil divine palace had also looked for Lin Xian. Lin Xian told them what he was doing, and the evil divine palace had nothing to say. They also wanted to see Lin Xian and the others become stronger. After all, even if you advance to the Heavenly Tao, the poison pill would still be effective. In the past 2 months, they had achieved 40 consecutive victories. His luck wasn't bad. He didn't encounter any teams from the Heavenly Tao. The name, Storm Battle Team, gradually became famous in the Death Corner arena. They were at the peak from the beginning because the noble race of the Phoenix made them full of controversy and attention. However, towards the end, they were indeed fighting very slowly. Their opponents were very strong. They were basically all 10 stars of the Great Void stage. 10 people. Moreover, they were also very strong. They were even conserving their strength, which would more or less cause injuries. Fortunately, they had many creation laws. How many creation laws did they have in a team? After resting for a while, they would be done in 1 or 2 days. Then, they would continue to the next match. Another half a month passed. They had achieved 49 consecutive victories, and they had already repaired themselves. That night, they gathered in a room. No, Zhuge Feng, why are you so trashy? Feng Ling couldn't help but curse. Zhuge Feng scratched his head awkwardly. I don't play much. That's right. The 10 of them directly F*King summoned 10 computers, and then used a special signal transmitter to connect the computers to the internet. The 10 of them were playing a custom 5v5. Then, Zhuge Feng tricked Feng Ling. I told you, I'm not the worst. Lin Xian looked at the victory page and laughed. Originally, most of them, including Ling Long Shui and the other girls, would not play games. But now, as long as there was nothing to do and they could get people, they would play games frequently. Including Morong Yu, Feng Ling, Han Chuxue, and the others, they were also playing. It was just a matter of standards. However, they were more customizable and just for entertainment. In the past, Lin Xian was the one who was abused. Now, with Zhuge Feng, the one opposite Lin Xian was finally not Lin Xian who was abused. Next round, next round. Zhuge Feng, you go opposite. You and Lin Xian switch. Forget it, forget it. You and Lin Xian are in the same team. Lin Xian is also trash. Feng Ling said. Lin Xian, hey, don't be too arrogant. Teske. Then, Lin Xian looked at Zhuge Feng and said, let's team up. Let's show them who's worse. What a joke. We may not be good at other things, but as men, how can we lose to them in games? Little Yu Yu, little Xintong, and little Ying Ying, you guys come with me. I don't want to. Ling Ying shook his head decisively. Lin Xian. Then little Chuxue. Han Chuxue hesitated for a moment, but still chose to team up with Lin Xian. 20 minutes later, Lin Xian and the others lost miserably. Now you know who's the worst. It's these 2 men. Ling Ying pointed at Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng. You're really bad. Lin Xian looked at Zhuge Feng and said. You too. Zhuge Feng said. Lin Xian lit a cigarette. Smoking again. Leave me alone. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Then, Wu Yunuo stood up and stretched. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to take a shower too. After taking a shower, everyone should have a good rest. Tomorrow, we're going to prepare for our 50th battle. We might encounter Tian Dao. Lin Xian said. They were lucky that they didn't encounter Tian Dao's team in their 40-odd consecutive victories. However, they knew that from the 50th battle onwards, there should be Tian Dao in every battle. Although most of them were first place, they were still Tian Dao. Tomorrow, it might be a tough battle. Got it. When it came to serious matters, they were still very serious. Then, they left one after another. Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng were in the same room. Needless to say, Lin Xian really didn't touch these girls for 2.5 months. The 2 of them lay on the bed. Speaking of which, how many of them are your girlfriends? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian with a smile and asked. All of them. Really? Sooner or later? Zhuge Feng laughed. Awesome. Are you not used to being in the same team as us? Zhuge Feng shook his head. No, I like this atmosphere very much. It's extra relaxed, there's no scheming, and... Then, he saw Lin Xian holding his phone and video calling someone, completely ignoring him. Damn. Zhuge Feng couldn't help but laugh. Damn it. This is so annoying. Chapter 1730. Lin Xian was having a video call with Ling Long Shui and the others. What? Forget about friendship? That's a given. What's a brother to me? Little Shi, I missed you so much. Lin Xian looked at little Shi through the camera and kissed her. Little Shi was very cooperative and wiped her face in disgust. Little Tianny came over and tried to get Lin Xian to kiss her. Go away, little Tianny. Don't block little Shi. Pfft. Zhuge Feng couldn't help but laugh. I say, big brother, aren't you a little too biased towards girls and disregarding boys? Lin Xian glanced at Zhuge Feng and said, What do you know? Are you a father? I'm not favoring girls over boys. Even daughters have to be spoiled. As long as a son survives, that's enough. As a man, he has to experience the fickleness of human nature and the fickleness of the world from a young age. Only then can he hone his willpower and be more responsible in the future. Say, if a man is spoiled from a young age, what will happen when he grows up? Am I right? What you said seems to make sense. Zhuge Feng smiled. Little Tianny, I'll take you to find a father who loves you more. Yi Renbing rubbed little Tianny's head and said, Lin Xian, hey, don't mess around. I'm serious. Yes. Ling Longshui then said, I heard that you're going to fight in the competition for your 50th consecutive victory tomorrow. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I might encounter the Heavenly Tao. Be careful. The Heavenly Tao of the Shifters is not comparable to the Heavenly Tao of the human clan. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I know. Also, when the demon race reaches the Heavenly Tao realm, they can release the demon god true body. For a short period of time, they can return to their original form. Once they return to their original form, their combat strength will reach its peak. Lin Xian said, I know that, but generally speaking, they won't release it because the consequences are quite serious. Furthermore, although the loser will die, the Heavenly Tao won't die so easily, so even if they lose, the Heavenly Tao might not release the demon god's true body. Ling Longshui nodded. In theory, yes. But you still have to be careful. Don't let your guard down. All right. Then I'll report the good news to you tomorrow. By the way, did anything big happen in the past few months? No, I'll tell you if I do. All right, then I'll hang up first. Yes. Little Shi, give me a kiss and I'll hang up. Lin Xian then moved his face closer to the camera. Shika also moved closer to Ling Longshui's camera, and then reached out her hand and ended the call. Lin Xian was speechless. Ha, young Master Lin, your daughter is really naughty. She's grown up to be so spoiled by you. Zhuge Feng laughed. Damn. Lin Xian put away his phone, stretched, and said, This little brat has been naughty since she was young. I don't understand. Her mother is so quiet, so why is she so naughty? Her brother, on the other hand, is so quiet, like a punching bag. Whatever. But it's good to be naughty. She won't be bullied. Bullied? Impossible. She's my daughter, Lin Xian. If anyone dares to bully her, I'll King destroy their entire family. Look. Aren't you the slave girl that people talk about? Ha. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Get lost. You'll know when you have a daughter. Sigh me? I'm probably already married. I don't even have a girlfriend. If I join a team full of beauties, they'll all King be yours. Tell me, when will I be able to stop being single? Lin Xian said, as the young master of the Zhuge family, stop acting. Do you lack women? That's just because you don't fancy them. Me? What I'm thinking of now is to raise my realm. I didn't know about it in the beginning, but now I know. There are so many pinnacle and stronger geniuses above us. Some have even reached the Heavenly Tao realm a long time ago. I should work hard to raise my realm and become stronger. Only then will I have the means to protect myself and my family. In this chaotic era, I need more leverage. Besides, it won't be long before humans and demons start fighting. Besides, it's not like the humans and demons will soon be fighting soon, said Zhuge Feng as he took a puff of Lin Xian's cigarette. This was the reason why Lin Xian liked Zhuge Feng. He was similar to Lin Xian in many aspects. Lin Xian also thought the same. If he wasn't strong, how could he talk about doing more? How could he talk about protecting others? First, he had to ensure that he was strong. Only then would he have the ability to protect the people he loved. It was just that the two of them had different personalities. Zhuge Feng was more of a gentleman. He wouldn't scold anyone. He had only scolded people recently because he had been with Lin Xian for a long time. That's right. I have to quickly raise my realm to the heavenly Tao realm. Alright, let's rest and prepare for tomorrow's battle. Yeah. A night passed just like that. In fact, it was quite good for everyone to stay together. They would chat every night before bed or before cogitation. Sometimes, they would chat for hours and talk about everything. They even chatted with Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng, much less the other girls. This way, it was very easy to nurture the tacit understanding between them. Early the next morning, the gigantic death arena was filled with people. This was because the first match of the day was the highlight of the day. It was a match between the Storm team. It was unknown who their opponent was, but it was definitely a team with a 50-win streak or slightly more. It was going to be a good match. Everyone, how do you plan on betting today? They were all gamblers. Although they were experts, they needed the many heavenly fey crystals here, treasures that were obtained without sowing. Therefore, at first glance, you would feel that they were no different from those gamblers in human society. They had everything that a gambler should have. I don't think we should bet on the Storm team today. Although the Storm team is indeed very powerful and has made a name for themselves. They even have a powerful existence from the Phoenix lineage, but they are facing a team with a 50-win streak. They have good luck and have yet to encounter a team with a heavenly Tao realm. And this time, as long as they encounter a team with a heavenly Tao realm, there's no need to say who they should bet on, right? Heavenly Tao realm. If there's only one heavenly Tao realm, it shouldn't be a problem, right? That's a phoenix. That's a huge problem. Even if it's a phoenix, it's fighting a heavenly Tao realm expert at the Great Void realm. Do you think that's possible? That's a heavenly Tao realm expert. It's absolutely impossible for a Great Void realm expert to defeat a team. Even a phoenix can't do so unless it's a weak heavenly Tao realm expert. But for us Fae, as long as our bloodline reaches the heavenly Tao realm, how can we be weak? Chapter 1731. Clearly, these people were more optimistic about the other teams. Of course, the premise was that their opponents had to be at the heavenly Tao realm. However, it should be about time. With 50 consecutive victories, it was time to meet someone at the heavenly Tao realm. That's right. Besides, this is a phoenix that has yet to mature. No matter how strong its bloodline is, it's still not strong enough if it hasn't fully matured. A Great Void Realm 10th stage phoenix might be able to fight a heavenly Tao realm 1st stage, but that's all it can do, right? No one should be able to do anything to the other. But as a team, the heavenly Tao realm can clearly pose a greater threat to the opponent's team. That's right. Among the 10 of them, only one person is from the Phoenix lineage. The others look slightly ordinary. Up to now, it's unknown what race they are from. This Phoenix lineage expert might be able to fight a heavenly Tao, but if the heavenly Tao were to target his teammates and make them lose their combat strength, he would be able to fight 1 against 10, and there's still a heavenly Tao. That's clearly impossible. Yeah, let's see who their opponents are. Lin Xian and company were respectfully invited out and brought to the place where they were preparing for battle. The place where they were preparing for battle could not hear any sounds from the outside, nor could they see anything. During this period, the people outside could see. At the same time, it was time for them to place their bets. Everyone, welcome to the Death Corner Arena. Today's Death Corner Arena is rather lively. The first match today is the dark horse that appeared in the Death Corner Arena 2.5 months ago, the Storm Battle Team. The beautiful MC shouted. Hua! Following that, everyone in the arena roared. Clearly, Lin Xian and the others had also gathered some of their fans. Alright, let's see who the Storm Battle Team will be facing today. Everyone, please look at the screen. Everyone looked over in anticipation. Blood Fiend Battle Team. Hua! Everyone was in an uproar. It's actually the Blood Fiend Battle Team. The Blood Fiend Battle Team is back? They haven't participated in the Death Corner Arena for 3 months, right? They probably went somewhere for training? Previously, the Blood Fiend Battle Team had 1 Heavenly Dao out of 10 members. Do you think there will be an additional one in the past 3 months? I don't know, but what I can be sure of is that there is at least 1 Heavenly Dao. It depends on whether they have changed their members or not. If they change their members, they have to change someone with the same winning streak as them. Then, the beautiful MC said, the Blood Evil Battle Team also won 50 consecutive victories. Today, all of their members are back and there are no changes in their members. It will be their 51st battle. Let's wait and see. Will the Dark Horse Storm Battle Team, who achieved 49 consecutive victories in just 2 months, or will the Blood Evil Battle Team end their winning streak? Let's wait and see. Now, let's start betting. Everyone then began to place their bets excitedly. Then, one could see that the odds were rapidly changing. In the beginning, it might have been relatively even, but it soon soared to 50-1. That's right, if you bet on Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team to win, the odds were 150. From this, it could be seen that everyone still respected the Heavenly Dao realm. Although in their eyes, Lin Xian was a phoenix, a Heavenly Dao was still a Heavenly Dao. And clearly, this Blood Evil Battle Team was definitely not weak. They were definitely very strong. 10 minutes later, Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team's odds were 1,800. Actually, this was already giving them face. After all, the odds were in the thousands previously. Under normal circumstances, Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team's odds were also in the thousands. However, they were indeed giving them face. More people wanted to bet. They didn't believe in other battle teams, but this Storm Battle Team still had hope. After all, they weren't simple. More people wanted stability. They wanted to firmly suppress the Blood Evil Battle Team. After all, the treasures they took out were very precious. Although the odds were low, it was still a win, right? It was still quite useful. There were a small number of people who wanted to take a gamble. They bet on the Storm Battle Team. The odds were 1,800. If there was an upset, they would be rich. And it wouldn't be an upset. What if they had some trump cards? Even then, they could still win. Alright, then I announce that the bets are stopped. The battle between the Storm Battle Team and the Blood Evil Battle Team will begin immediately. Let us welcome the Storm Battle Team. Wow, amidst the cheers, Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team walked out. The cheers are much louder than before. Ling Ying commented. After all, this is our 50th battle. Look, what the F*CK. 1,800? Who are our opponents? Lin Xian could see the odds at this moment. He took a look and was dumbfounded. It was said that the eyes of the crowd were as sharp as snow. Such ridiculous odds could only mean one thing. In their eyes, their opponents were crushing the Storm Battle Team. That was why the odds were so ridiculous. How exactly were they crushing the Storm Battle Team? Everyone, this battle might be very difficult. Be prepared, Lin Xian said. I saw the odds. They nodded. 1,800. If we had known, we would have placed our bets. We have no choice. We are already participating in the battle. We don't have time to place bets. Next time, let's know someone and get him to help us. All right. After all, it's useful to earn more heaven and earth spiritual items. Mainly, I feel that there will be such high odds more often in the later stages. It's better to earn for free. All right. Then, the host lady shouted, "Let us welcome the Storm Battle Team's opponent, the Blood Evil Battle Team." Then, the 10 of them walked out. Blood Evil Battle Team? Xiao Yuhan, Xiao Xintong, have you collected any information about this battle team? Their brows furrowed as well. We have already collected the information of all the battle teams that have appeared during this period of time. However, we have not collected any information about this Blood Evil Battle Team. It could only mean that they might be the team before we came. However, they might have not fought for a few months and still maintained their winning streak. They just happened to return. This should be their first battle. Lin Xian nodded. They should be very famous. Be careful. Then, Lin Xian glanced at them. They were people. 8 men and 1 woman. 1 heavenly Dao 1 star and 9 great void realm 10 stars. Their overall combat strength, even if they do not include the heavenly Dao realm, is the strongest we have encountered so far. Lin Xian said. Roger. Then, Lin Xian continued to check with his Eye of Cave Spirit. These people are mostly agility type. Let me take a look at their demon techniques. The Eye of Cave Spirit could not only check their realms and attributes. It could also check their demon techniques. However, it could only be laws. Things like domains were not easy to check. Chapter 1732. When Lin Xian learned of the demonic beast's demonic skills, he felt more confident. Demonic skills were the skills of the Fey race. They could be categorized into 2 types. They were similar to the martial skills of humans, or rather, the laws and domains of the Fey race. They could also be collectively referred to as demonic skills. Lin Xian said to them, their demonic skills aren't weak. Most of them enhance themselves. One of them is 10 times the gravity. You have to pay attention to that. This heavenly Dao's demonic skill is weakness. It weakens our strength in all attributes. Lin Xian thought for a moment before looking at Wang Xintong and asking, Xintong, is your law useful? Wang Xintong shook her head. It's useless. My law only enhances, but it doesn't have the effect of removing abnormal states. Zhuge Feng said, I can do it, but a heavenly Dao's law isn't something a great void realm like me can reverse. Lin Xian said, it's fine. Leave it to me. It's fine as long as you have the ability. Sure. They were already used to Lin Xian's abilities. They did not know why Lin Xian had the ability to see through others, but it was considered normal. It was a certain ability that made sense. All right. Now, please enter the random map. The duel will begin immediately. Then, the 2 teams walked into the teleportation array in front of them and appeared on the map. Xue Di, let's begin. Lin Xian said. Swish. Then they set up their formation. Ling Ying, Wu Yuhan, and Wu Yunuo were at the front. Han Chuxue and Xiao Xinyue were at the sides. Feng Ling and Murong Yu were at the back. Zhuge Feng and Wang Xintong were behind Feng Ling and the rest. Lin Xian stood at the back to control the situation. In front of them, their 10 opponents slowly walked over. Heh, you are the team that obtained 49 consecutive victories in 2 months? I have to say, you have some ability. Their leader was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 30s or 40s. He was their heavenly Dao. The demon-eyed devil tiger tribe was a race that, according to their classification, should belong to the category of heavy warriors. All of their attributes were relatively balanced. Normally speaking, this kind of demonic beast's demonic skill should be a powerful attack-type demonic skill or an amplification type. However, its demonic skill was actually to weaken the opponent. But thinking about it, there wasn't much of a problem, because the evil-eyed devil tiger didn't lack damage output abilities. 2 women stood beside him. Both of them were extremely seductive. Lin Xian knew that these 2 women were of the same race. Their ability was to control. So what are you trying to say? Lin Xian asked. What I want to say is that your winning streak ends here. Shua, then, his surging aura exploded. It had to be said that the heavenly Dao was the heavenly Dao, and the heavenly Dao of the demon race was absolutely incomparable to that of the human race. Of course, this wasn't absolute, but it was true in most cases. As long as the Fey race's bloodline supported them to reach the heavenly Dao, they would definitely not be weak. It's hard to say whose winning streak will end here. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. Shua, the aura of the 10 of them erupted at the same time. This was definitely the first time each of them had truly fought with the heavenly Dao. Of course, Lin Xian had fought before, but that couldn't be considered a real fight. However, they still had a certain amount of confidence. Otherwise, they wouldn't dare to fight with the Heavenly Tao before reaching the Heavenly Tao. Fortunately, there was only one Heavenly Tao. Although everyone in the Blood Evil Squad was very strong, Lin Xian's ability was more outstanding. Pay attention, don't kill this person. As for the others, do as you please. The Heavenly Tao said to his team members. Understood. After all, they had heard those people talking about Lin Xian's team. They said that Lin Xian was of the Dark Phoenix bloodline, so they couldn't afford to offend him. They could kill the others, but this Phoenix, they definitely couldn't kill. Let me feel what the power of this Dark Phoenix is like. The evil-eyed Devil Tiger roared and charged directly at Lin Xian. At present, there was no scheme. He simply wanted to feel Lin Xian's strength. Moreover, he had confidence in himself. Even if he thought that Lin Xian was a phoenix, he still had confidence. After all, he wasn't weak, and the evil-eyed Devil Tiger wasn't trash. Moreover, he was a Heavenly Tao. If a Heavenly Tao was afraid of Taishu, it would be a joke. Although there was suppression and restraint in the Fey race's bloodline, he didn't feel that kind of substantial suppression from Lin Xian. Heavenly Tao? Then I'll test the strength of a Heavenly Tao. Whoosh, Lin Xian charged at the Heavenly Tao, then said to Wang Xintong and the rest, I'll block this Heavenly Tao. You guys deal with the rest. Xintong, don't give me any boost. Understood. Lin Xian believed that as long as he blocked the Heavenly Tao realm, with Ling Ying and company's strength, they would definitely be crushed by Ling Ying and company who were at the same realm as them. Although they weren't weak, Ling Ying and company would definitely be able to crush them. This was a huge opportunity given by the Blood Malevolence battle team to Lin Xian and company. Whoosh, Lin Xian charged to the side with the evil-eyed Devil Tiger. Lin Xian had deliberately opened up a distance between them, so that they could fight as far apart as possible. This was because this map wasn't an ordinary battle arena. It was huge, to the point that one couldn't even see a shadow when fighting here. It was just that big. Lin Xian took all the pressure on himself. At the same time, he wanted to test the gap between him and the Heavenly Tao. Or rather, how long would it take for him to destroy the Heavenly Tao? At the same time, Lin Xian wanted to ensure that the evil-eyed Devil Tiger's strength was unable to affect Ling Ying and company's battle. This was because Lin Xian had absolute confidence in Ling Ying and company. The people outside were secretly astonished. What is this person doing? Is he going to challenge a Heavenly Tao realm expert at the Great Void Realm? Is this the pride of a phoenix? This is going to be interesting. Originally, if it was a pure team battle, it would be difficult for us to tell how strong this expert from the Phoenix lineage is. But now, he's fighting a Heavenly Tao realm evil tiger one-on-one. That's the best way to see their strength. That's not right. We've been tricked. I think the Storm battle team has been tricked. I think Xie who is deliberately challenging a Phoenix lineage expert. He's very sinister. He clearly knows that he can control the situation on the main battlefield, so why would he challenge someone else? Unless Xie who has absolute confidence in himself. That's also possible. After all, he is a Heavenly Tao. But I feel that against a Phoenix, any confidence is useless. It's likely a trap. That's right. It was a trap. In the eyes of the evil-eyed Devil Tiger, Lin Xian was the strongest. The other 9 were all good-for-nothings. Although they weren't weak, they were definitely not strong. It was hard to say if this Phoenix lineage expert was in the team. Once he left the team, Xie who believed that his team members could easily finish off Lin Xian's team members. Chapter 1733. Therefore, the awkward thing was that he felt that he was right. In fact, although everyone believed that Lin Xian was the strongest, they had clearly belittled Ling Ying and the rest. Ling Ying and company had not used their full strength in the previous battle. Many of their abilities had not been used. Most of the time, Lin Xian was the one leading the battle. Xie Hu and company believed that as long as Lin Xian was not in the team, they would be crippled. In fact, that was not the case. And Xiehu's thoughts were the same as Lin Xian's. Lin Xian's thought was that as long as they lured the heavenly Tao realm away, they would definitely be able to crush the other 9 with their strength. Their thoughts were completely identical. However, Xiehu did not think that there was a need for him to do so. He did it for his own selfish reasons. He wanted to experience the strength of the phoenix, or rather, prove to the world that he had once defeated the phoenix, even if he had defeated the phoenix at a higher realm. But it was the phoenix after all. It was the pride of his life. However, the winner would definitely be Ling Ying and company. How could they possibly compare to Lin Xian's team when it came to understanding and confidence in their own members? Even without Lin Xian, the others were still very strong. Furthermore, Lin Xian had already told Ling Ying and company about their Yao techniques. It was equivalent to knowing everything about them. As for the Blood Termination battle team, their understanding of Ling Ying and company was limited to the previous battles. They probably did not know much about them. Furthermore, everyone still had many trump cards that they had yet to use. Sisters, do you have the confidence to finish the battle in 3 minutes? Ling Ying stretched out her hand as 2 daggers that seemed to shuttle through the black fog spun around her. 2 minutes. Feng Ling said lightly. All right, 2 minutes it is. After it's done, we will help Lin Xian. They had absolute faith in Lin Xian. Even if Lin Xian was facing the heavenly Tao, they believed that Lin Xian would be fine in a short period of time. Therefore, they had to quickly finish off their opponents. Hey, I'm not your sister. Zhuge Feng said helplessly. Cut the crap, let's fight. Morongyu reminded him, do as Lin Xian said. Continue to hide your strength as much as you can. All right. Wang Xintong's body was then surrounded by a golden light. Law of Light, activate your domain. Wang Xintong's nomological laws could raise all the team members' attributes. Her domain could raise the team members' realm. However, everyone was now at the 10th level of the Great Void Realm. If they were to raise their realm, they would reach the Heavenly Tao Realm. How could Wang Xintong allow everyone to reach the Heavenly Tao Realm? Although it could not be improved, it could allow them to become stronger on the basis of the 10th level of the Great Void stage. No. She might not be able to raise her team members to the Heavenly Tao Realm. 8 or 9 wouldn't do, but if it was 1, she might still be able to do it. However, even if she could do it, this opponent wasn't worth it. Moreover, it would consume a lot of energy. Amplification? Do you think we don't have any buffs? Activate. His opponent had also activated his amplification ability. The battle here was on the verge of breaking out. And on the other side, that's right. Everyone was more focused on the battle between Lin Xian and Xiehu. Your Excellency, do you only know how to run? Xiehu's speed suddenly increased as he charged at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nimbly dodged. Then, Xiehu's punch blasted past Lin Xian's side, creating a crater a few hundred meters deep in the snow in front of him. After all, this was just a casual punch from him. However, it was indeed in line with the strength of the Heavenly Tao Realm. Lin Xian stood there as his aura soared. Strength multiplied. Law of Creation. Lin Xian did not know how much his Law of Creation had increased his strength. He had directly used his spiritual energy as a standard, consuming 1/10 of his spiritual energy to raise his realm. It should have been several times. Don't underestimate Lin Xian's 1/10. Lin Xian's 1/10 was no ordinary warrior's 1/10. However, even if Lin Xian's strength increased by 10 times, the Great Void Realm could forget about fighting against the Heavenly Tao. However, with such a huge increase, he was different from ordinary people. Furthermore, he had obtained the multiplier from the God's Awakening Door. His strength was not weak at all. A phoenix is a phoenix. A level 10 Great Void Realm cultivation, but his aura has soared to such an extent in an instant. Xiehu was still a little surprised. However, a Great Void Realm was a Great Void Realm. Wrath of the Heavenly Evil. Xiehu roared angrily as a terrifying black energy surrounded his body. To be honest, an ordinary level 10 Great Void Realm Warrior would probably be suppressed to the point of suffocation. Is this the power of the Heavenly Tao? Lin Xian was still secretly shocked. Too strong. The Heavenly Tao was indeed not something the Great Void Realm could compare to. However, Lin Xian had a way to deal with the Heavenly Tao. Take this. Let me see how strong you are. Xie Hu roared angrily as he punched at Lin Xian with a fist covered in black energy. Lin Xian only had one solution, and that was to dodge. The people outside watched this scene nervously. What should he do? Of course, he would dodge. Whoosh! Lin Xian used a space jump to open up the distance between them. Boom! A huge crater was blasted open where he was standing. Snowflakes shook the sky. Do you only know how to dodge? A Heavenly Tao warrior fighting a Great Void Realm warrior, and you still say such things. What a joke. However, if you don't want to dodge, then don't dodge. Lin Xian stood in the void as the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. Realm-lowering domain. Lin Xian's domain power directly affected Xie Hu's body. What? Xie Hu frowned. He had carefully investigated this team. After all, it was said that this team had a phoenix, so he had to pay attention to it. He knew that the powerhouse of the phoenix bloodline in this team had the power to lower the opponent's realm. However, he was not afraid at all because he was at the Heavenly Tao realm. No matter how powerful the opponent was, what effect could it have on a Heavenly Tao realm warrior? But now, he felt that his strength was rapidly declining. Hiss! The audience outside could see his strength weakening with their naked eyes, and they were secretly alarmed. Is this the power of a phoenix? Logically speaking, a power that shouldn't have any effect was successfully used by a Great Void Realm warrior on a Heavenly Tao realm warrior. No, it's not that the power is too strong. It's bloodline suppression. This is definitely bloodline suppression. Because of the bloodline, it can achieve an effect that is impossible under normal circumstances. This is bloodline suppression. It's too strong. Does that mean that the Phoenix has a chance of winning? There is a chance, but it's hard to say how strong it is. Let's continue watching. Xie Hu raised his head and looked at Lin Xian. As expected of a phoenix. This kind of power is actually effective on me, but, following that, his powerful strength surged. Then, how can a Great Void Realm warrior like you block my power that can lower all your attributes? Chapter 1734. Lin Xian had lowered the Evil Eye Fiend Tiger's cultivation realm. With Lin Xian's current Great Virtual Realm cultivation of 10 stars, he could still lower the opponent's cultivation by 3 stars. However, although the effect of this domain ignored cultivation realms, the reduction in cultivation realm was too exaggerated. Simply put, it was very difficult for Lin Xian to lower the Heavenly Tao realm's cultivation at the Great Virtual Realm. It could be done, but the consumption was huge. Lin Xian could forcefully lower the Evil Eye Fiend Tiger's cultivation realm by 1 star, but even with Lin Xian's current spiritual energy, his spiritual energy would be empty after lowering it. Not to mention lowering it by 3 stars. However, if Lin Xian were to lower the Great Virtual Realm's cultivation by 10 stars, it would be easy. He would not need to consume too much energy to lower the Great Virtual Realm's cultivation from 10 stars to 7 stars. At the end of the day, the Heavenly Tao realm's 1-star cultivation realm was too exaggerated. Just like the reward Lin Xian received from the God's Awakening Door, the opposite effect of the realm-lowering domain, the realm-raising domain allowed him to raise his cultivation realm by 1 star. In theory, he could also raise his cultivation realm to the Heavenly Tao realm because he was now at the Great Virtual Realm's 10 stars. However, if he were to raise his cultivation realm by 1 star, his spiritual energy would be completely drained. If it was a Heavenly Venerate raising his cultivation realm to the Great Virtual Realm, it would be easy. However, the difference of 1 star in the Heavenly Tao realm was too great. Therefore, Lin Xian's realm-lowering domain was within the limits of his ability. He had reserved enough spiritual energy to lower the Evil Tiger's cultivation realm. Although he did not lower the Evil Tiger from the Heavenly Tao realm to the Great Virtual Realm, there were still significant effects. Simply put, He went from a powerful heavenly Tao to a weak heavenly Tao. However, a heavenly Tao was still a heavenly Tao. Weaken this sovereign. The evil tiger roared angrily as a surge of energy acted on Lin Xian's body. The effect of his weaken was very significant. Lin Xian's aura plummeted. You've reduced my power, so your power has also been reduced. So, what makes you think you can fight me? Needless to say, Lin Xian was having a headache. This kind of power that lowered his own attributes was fine, but if it lowered Lin Xian's strength, it would be difficult to deal with. Take this. Then, Xiehu once again gathered his strength and threw a punch at Lin Xian. Lin Xian released his space and quickly dodged. Flames of darkness. Shua, powerful dark flames surged towards him, but he easily tore them apart. It's useless. Although the flames of darkness are powerful, the disparity between our realms is too great. Xiehu sneered. Even with the suppression of the realm, it was still very satisfying to be able to defeat a phoenix. He was even hesitating whether or not he should kill him. If he killed him, he could obtain great benefits, but it might be very dangerous. He would probably be hunted down from now on. After thinking about it, he decided. Kill. If he absorbed the phoenix's power, his ability would undergo a qualitative change. The world was so big, how would the dark phoenix find him? After killing him, he would hide his identity. How would the dark phoenix find him? Let's do it. Arg, demon god roar. Roar, an angry roar accompanied by a vision of heaven and earth. A terrifying power surged towards Lin Xian in an exaggerated range. The people outside were shocked by what they saw. The gap between higher void and heavenly axiom is really unimaginable. Even a phoenix can't fight against it? The main thing is that he was weakened by Xiehu. There's an absolute difference in their realms. After being weakened, he really can't win. Wait, is Xiehu going to kill him? How dare he? He even used such a powerful move. He's dead. This was what the people thought about Lin Xian's current situation. And Lin Xian was facing such an enemy. Was he helpless? He had a way. He just didn't want to use it. He still wanted to preserve more power as a trump card for the upcoming battle. But now, it seemed like he had no choice but to use it. However, at this moment, a figure rushed behind Lin Xian. Why are you here? It's almost over there. I'm here to help you. Then, Zhuge Feng's eyes flashed blue, and a powerful force was channeled into Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's power soared at the same time. The weakened state was lifted. This is all I can do. I'm out of spiritual energy, Zhuge Feng said to Lin Xian. Enough. Then, Lin Xian released the space to send him away. His eyes flashed with fighting spirit as he looked at the power in front of him. Whoosh, Lin Xian stretched out his hand, and the sacred sword appeared in his hand. A strong golden light burst out. First level, holy light lingering. The golden holy light and the black evil light collided. There was a set of techniques in this sacred sword. Lin Xian had only comprehended the first level of this technique. There were a total of 9 levels, and it was an amplification technique. The first level's effect was to double all attributes. Creation law. Boom, the 2 bursts of power collided. When the dust settled, Lin Xian was standing there unscathed. What? Seeing this, Xiehu frowned. He's fine? Even if he's recovered, he shouldn't be fine, right? With the support of this sacred sword, Lin Xian's aura was close to Xiehu's. Lin Xian's strength doubled. The holy light lingering doubled, the creation law increased, and the power of the sacred sword allowed Lin Xian's aura to approach the weakened Xiehu. Tian Dao is still difficult to fight, but it's over. Lin Xian cracked his neck. 7 Heavens of Phoenix. This 7 Heavens of Phoenix was a very powerful martial technique. It originated from Huang Shi, and was transferred to Lin Xian by Huang Shi. In order to use this martial technique, one needed the flame of darkness. Lin Xian had it, so he could use it. This was also one of Huang Shi's powerful techniques. There were a total of 9 heavens, but Lin Xian's current limit was 7 heavens. When he reached Tian Dao, he could use 8 or even 9 heavens. If this demonic technique was a martial technique, it should be the highest grade of Saint-tier martial technique. This is... Everyone's eyes widened at this scene. Everyone watched in horror as the 7 phoenixes soared into the sky. Flame of darkness, burn for me. Roar. Then, the 7 phoenixes circled around each other, and 7 pillars of flames rose into the sky, trapping Xiehu in it. Then, the 7 phoenixes rushed over. Even so, do you think you can hurt me? Xiehu roared angrily, and a surge of energy erupted from his body. The 2 forces collided with each other. Myriad world lightning tribulation. Sizzle, accompanying the 7 heavens of the phoenix were surging black thunderbolts, which looked very frightening. When the black lightning appeared, everyone was secretly shocked. Why was there black lightning? Lin Xian still had many trump cards, but he didn't need to use them. Chapter 1735. Xiehu's powerful strength clashed with Phoenix's 7th firmament, and he managed to block it. Yes, he managed to barely block it. But at the same time, Phoenix's 7th firmament's powerful strength shattered his defenses. Flames of darkness ignored defense, but with their realms present, they cancelled each other out. But what followed was 10,000 bolts of evil lightning. It had the same terrifying strength and the same defense-ignoring effect. Just as Xiehu revealed a smile and was about to say that it was nothing, he suddenly saw the surging black lightning in front of him. His smile froze at that instant. He felt that there was no problem. Even if the lightning struck him, there shouldn't be any problems for him, a heavenly Tao realm expert, to be struck by the power of the Great Void Realm, right? But when the 10,000 bolts of evil lightning landed on his body, 2 people said, "I'm doomed." Boom bang, bang, bang. His figure slammed to the ground as he tumbled in circles. Lin Xian stood there and heaved a sigh of relief. The heavenly Tao realm is indeed not something I can easily withstand. Typically speaking, with my strength, even if I'm at the Great Void Realm's 1 star, I can still fight a Great Void Realm's 9 star or 10 star. But as a Great Void Realm's 10 star, it's still so difficult for me to face a heavenly Tao realm's 1 star. Lin Xian sighed. The main reason was that many of his powers were restricted. Although he still had many trump cards, to put it simply, Lin Xian had forcefully lowered his cultivation level to the Great Void Realm's 10 star. As for himself, he had little spiritual energy left. If he could not end the battle in an extremely short period of time, Lin Xian would be the one in an awkward situation. Therefore, Lin Xian did not use this ability. However, all of this would dissipate with Lin Xian's advancement to the heavenly Tao realm. As long as Lin Xian advanced to the heavenly Tao realm, he might be able to return to the level of an overlord. For example, he could beat a 5-star heavenly Tao realm's 1 star. Even if the difference in the heavenly Tao realm was ridiculously huge, Lin Xian believed that it would not be as difficult as it was now. Therefore, he had to quickly advance to the heavenly Tao realm. There was another point that Lin Xian had fully realized in today's battle. He did not have enough means. He really did not have enough. He didn't lack powerful martial skills, nor did he lack attributes. There were many attributes that he hadn't used yet, and they could be used as trump cards for later battles. However, what he lacked was a trump card that would allow him to stand firm. Lin Xian found it very difficult to fight someone at the heavenly Tao realm at the Great Void 10-star realm. He was completely unsatisfied with this. He began to doubt his own strength. Although the Adonis system had given him all sorts of buffs, such as all attributes, creation, destruction, and top-notch domains, Lin Xian realized that it was no longer enough. He realized that laws and domains were increasing in number. There were also more and more powerful people. The items given by the system made him invincible before the heavenly Tao realm, but now, he was truly exhausted. Unless the system gave him something even more powerful. But now, none of the quests were triggered, except for some quests with fixed rewards that had yet to be completed. How awkward. In other words, the Adonis system was not invincible. Had the Adonis system reached its limit? In that case, Lin Xian would have to be careful. He had a clear understanding of his own abilities. Although he was indeed heaven-defying, Lin Xian was still dissatisfied. Perhaps other human geniuses, such as Tian Lin and company, would find it difficult to defeat Evil Tiger at the same realm, but Lin Xian was still dissatisfied. This year, he had to properly prepare for this matter. He needed more and more powerful means. Whether it was given by the system or obtained by himself, it was fine. As the dust settled, Evil Tiger crawled up from the ground with his charred body. To put it bluntly, the heavenly Tao was indeed the heavenly Tao. It was a little exaggerated. After being struck by 10,000 bolts of evil lightning of such intensity, he managed to crawl up very quickly. However, he must have been severely injured. Hua, the people in the audience stood up when they saw this scene. He actually heavily injured the heavenly Tao? A second ago, he was in a situation where he was about to be insta-killed. The next second, he heavily injured a powerful opponent? How did he do it? What is this black lightning? No matter how powerful it is, how did it heavily injure Evil Tiger? Is this the strength of a phoenix? It's too terrifying. To defeat a heavenly Tao realm at the Great Void Realm, Why is your strength so strong? Evil Tiger looked at Lin Xian with blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. Is it strong? Actually, I don't think so. Lin Xian said lightly. Cough. He coughed. But you haven't won. Beware. Evil Tiger bellowed. Are you calling her? Bang. A voice sounded before a corpse landed in front of him. Following that, Han Chuxue and the other 8 appeared beside Lin Xian. It's settled. Morong Yu nodded. Yeah, it's settled. That's pretty fast. You sure are fierce. A great void challenged the heavenly Tao alone and heavily injured it? Windling was dumbfounded when she saw this scene. Lin Xian said, to be honest, if it was 10 against 10, it wouldn't have been that easy to win. Stop pretending. You have already heavily injured the heavenly Tao in a one-on-one battle. Windling rolled her eyes. Oh my God. How could she compete with Lin Xian? Evil Tiger's pupils shrank. His 9 teammates couldn't beat these 9 people? Look at them, they were all in good condition. It's very awkward. Even the heavenly Tao can't beat those in the same realm. Ling Ying said helplessly. Really, they were now in a state where they were invincible in the same realm. It's okay. Let's kill him first. Space lock. Space lock. Windling and Morongyu also released their space. Space lock. Wang Xintong also exchanged for the space attribute in the God's Awakening door. She thought that since she was a support in the team, she shouldn't be a burden to everyone. She should be able to protect herself. 4 layers of space lock. Evil Tiger was still heavily injured. He couldn't run. Kill him. Xiao Xingyue said to Lin Xian. Why don't one of you kill him? Who's about to advance to the heavenly Tao? No matter how fast you are, you can't advance by killing him. It's better for you. If you advance faster, our overall combat power will increase by leaps and bounds. Han Chuxue said. Lin Xian nodded. Okay. Tens of seconds later, Evil Tiger was smashed to death by Lin Xian's various big moves. Whoosh! Cheers and exclamations could be heard from the entire arena. The entire Blood Termination team was killed. They originally thought that no matter what the situation was, the heavenly Tao couldn't possibly die, right? But the heavenly Tao really died. It was too exaggerated. After taking away their spatial rings, the 10 of them appeared outside. Now, I announce that the winner is the Storm team. At the same time, they have achieved 50 consecutive victories and can receive the reward. Chapter 1736. Lin Xian's team's victory was completely out of everyone's expectations. Perhaps some people still had a glimmer of hope, but when the fight started, and the first half of Lin Xian's duel with Xie Hu, no one had any hope left. Those who had placed their bets on Lin Xian and Xie Hu were also in despair. But in the end, no one expected it. The entire field was filled with cheers, screams, and thunderous applause. In the Yao clan, the concept of the strong being respected was even stronger. What they valued more was not the three views, nor who was right or wrong. The one with the harder fist was right. The strong was right. Lin Xian's team had defeated such an opponent in a weak position. It was even more exaggerated to use the Taishu realm to defeat the Tiandao realm. Lin Xian's team of 10 stood there without saying anything, waiting for their rewards. At this moment, an old man walked over and stood in front of Lin Xian's team. Everyone quieted down. Congratulations to the Storm team for achieving the glory of 50 consecutive victories. This is the reward for the 10 of you. 10 Life Awakening Pills. He handed each of them a jade bottle. The Life Awakening Pill was a high-grade pill. Even for ordinary Tiandao realm cultivators, this Life Awakening Pill was very valuable. At a critical moment, it could save your life. Of course, for Lin Xian's team, it might not be much. However, Lin Xian did not have such a thing. But Lin Xian could refine it, as long as he had the ingredients. Thank you. Lin Xian said. I hope you can continue to work hard and achieve 80 consecutive victories as soon as possible. This old man has high hopes for you. The old man nodded in satisfaction. Thank you. Then, Lin Xian's team walked away. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Can you be gentler? In a huge room, Lin Xian was treating Feng Ling's injuries. He twisted her arm and started twisting it. Although everyone had one, they were more or less injured. The law of creation healed them, but there were too many people. Moreover, Lin Xian's spiritual power had not recovered yet, so he gave Feng Ling a simple treatment. Big sister, you can't even bear this little pain. You have to cherish every opportunity to get injured. This is a good opportunity to improve your physique. Simply using the law of creation to heal won't improve your physique. Lin Xian said. There was nothing wrong with that. For example, if you spent all day in the process of being injured and recovering, every time you recovered from a serious injury, your physique would become stronger. Simply put, you would be able to endure more beatings. Of course, the premise was that you didn't have any hidden injuries left behind. Move, move. Wind Chimes rolled up her sleeves and rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. You of course. This guy must have hurt her on purpose. Rolled Lin Xian's eyes. Shall we continue fighting tomorrow? Han Chuxue asked. Continue, but we should have encountered teams with at least one heavenly axiom. Lin Xian nodded. It's fine. This way we can advance faster. As long as we aren't seriously injured, let's not stop. I'll see if I can raise my cultivation technique to the next level tonight. If that happens, the combat strength I can unleash will double. It's fine. Everyone still has many trump cards they haven't used. Even if we encounter a team with 2 Heavenly Dao 1 stars, as long as it's not those ridiculous Fey, we should be able to fight. Morong Yu nodded. We can fight, so there's no need for us to be too worried. As long as we pay attention, we can't let our guard down in any battle. Understood. Lin Xian said, then everyone, go rest and cultivate. Alright. Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng sat on the bed to cultivate. Lin Xian's body was shrouded in a golden glow, attracting Zhuge Feng's attention. This was a power he had never felt from Lin Xian before. This power was very powerful, but it was unknown what cultivation technique it was. This was especially true for the golden sacred sword floating in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian's psyche had entered a holy space. This was something Lin Xian had discovered some time ago. It turned out that the holy sword hid some secrets. It wasn't just a sword. Lin Xian was pleasantly surprised. In fact, Lin Xian didn't even know the name of the sword. It was just called the Holy Sword, but now, Lin Xian was very interested in the sword. At that moment, Lin Xian's psyche was sitting cross-legged in that world. Be it Lin Xian in the psyche world or Lin Xian in the outside world, His body was surrounded by powerful heaven and earth talisman seals. This was the cultivation technique Lin Xian was cultivating at the moment. This cultivation technique was called the Holy Cultivation Technique. Of course, Lin Xian only knew the name and didn't know much about other things. He only knew that there were 5 levels. At present, his first level was surrounded by holy light, which had the effect of doubling all attributes. As for the second level, Lin Xian didn't know. He was currently cultivating the second level. Lin Xian couldn't cultivate in the outside world. When his psyche came into this space, it was as if there was something in this space that could help him cultivate this cultivation technique. This cultivation technique is very difficult to cultivate. Lin Xian opened his eyes in the psyche world, then stood up and looked at the heaven and earth talisman seals in the surrounding space. It was true. Lin Xian's cultivation of the other cultivation techniques was very fast, but this cultivation technique was very difficult. It was really very difficult. Lin Xian had been exploring the second level for a long time. He felt that it should be very easy, but he just couldn't do it. You're saying that his realm isn't high enough? That can't be. What kind of cultivation technique can only be cultivated by the heavenly Tao? That's too fake. Calm down. Suddenly, a voice came from this space. In reality, Lin Xian frowned. Of course, at the same time, Lin Xian in the psyche world also frowned. What the hell? There's a soul in this holy sword? It can't be, right? Wait, this voice. Senior, is that you? Isn't this the voice of that person when I received the inheritance at the foot of the mountain of the demon race expert and obtained this sword? Lin Xian then sat down and tried hard to calm his heart. Then, the voice came again. Cultivating the holy cultivation technique doesn't require your heart to be pure and holy. Instead, you must be firm in your beliefs, your obsession, and your so-called perseverance. If you're tenacious enough, then you'll be a saint, a Tao that belongs to you. It's also the key to success in this cultivation technique. Lin Xian took a deep breath. His Tao. What was his Tao? Lin Xian had never thought about this question. If you want to enter the heavenly Tao, your soul must be strong enough, and your realm must be strong enough. At the same time, you need to comprehend your own Tao. There will always be a Tao of your own among the 3,000 great Taos, and what you want to persevere in is your Tao. His Tao. What was his Tao? Chapter 1737. Linglong Shui had specifically told Lin Xian about the need to comprehend the Tao before advancing to the heavenly Tao. Back then, Lin Xian had asked her how to advance to the heavenly Tao. Linglong Shui had told him that as long as he had a sufficient realm, sufficient spiritual energy, and sufficient soul force, he would be able to advance. Of course, she had also emphasized the problem of the Tao to Lin Xian. Actually, one could advance to the heavenly Tao without comprehending the Tao. As long as one had a firm belief, it would be fine. One's heart would not be messy. It would be better if one had a firm belief. To truly become strong, one had to comprehend the Tao. One could comprehend the Tao while in the heavenly Tao. In the entire world, there were very few people who could comprehend the Tao before the heavenly Tao. 99% of them comprehended the Tao while in the heavenly Tao. And this person had said that to advance to the heavenly Tao, one had to comprehend the Tao before the heavenly Tao. According to Lin Xian's guess, he had set the requirements to the highest. It was best to comprehend the heavenly Tao before the heavenly Tao. This was because to advance to the heavenly Tao, one had to experience the heavenly punishment lightning of the heavenly Tao and undergo a lightning tribulation to advance. If one comprehended the Tao before the heavenly Tao, the strength of the heavenly punishment lightning would be on another level. This meant that if one succeeded, one's attributes would be even higher after reaching the heavenly Tao. The stronger the heavenly lightning, the stronger the heavenly Tao. Therefore, if one wanted the heavenly Tao to have the greatest strength, it was best to comprehend the Tao before the heavenly Tao. If one could not do it, after reaching the heavenly Tao, one would lose this improvement forever. Lin Xian closed his eyes. What was he holding on to? He did not want to rule the continent. He did not have the ambition. He did not want to be the only king. He only wanted the people around him to be fine. Everyone to be fine. Everyone to be able to live happily together and give birth to a bunch of babies for him. In the future, he would not need them to go to school. He would open a school for his babies. When his babies grew up, they would be able to form 2 football teams. Simply put, he wanted everything to be fine. Everyone to be fine. He wanted to live a peaceful life. Was this his Tao? Lin Xian felt very determined. He had always been working hard towards this goal. Everything he did, the reason why he wanted to become strong. Wasn't this all? Wasn't that Lin Xian's Tao? All of a sudden, Lin Xian felt as if he had formed a connection with something mystical. It was like a beam of light connecting the heavens and the earth. At this moment, Lin Xian was sitting in the spiritual world. Beside Lin Xian, a figure slowly walked over and stood there, looking at Lin Xian and the powerful force that erupted from Lin Xian's body. His face couldn't be seen clearly because he was wearing a mask. However, his identity might not be a secret anymore. You and I have chosen the same Tao. Lin Mo muttered to himself. It's just that the Tao you've chosen is different from mine. You're braver than me. I've always been a coward. He looked at the power erupting from Lin Xian's body. In addition to the power that made people feel very comfortable, this power also had a kind of killing intent. In other words, your Tao isn't about protection. It's about disregarding everything. For the sake of what you stand for, you'd rather make the world your enemy, the heavenly Tao, and the universe your enemy. I admire you. Then, when you persevere enough, you'll be able to reach the 5th level of the Absolute Saint cultivation method. This is the last thing I'm leaving you. He stood there for a long time. Then I can truly say goodbye to this world. He slowly closed his eyes. In this world, Lin Xian is the past. You're the present. Break through the heavenly Tao and see the real world. His figure slowly faded into nothingness, turning into specks of light that flowed into Lin Xian's body. Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian. What's going on? The terrifying spiritual energy of heaven and earth that erupted from Lin Xian's body shocked him. Han Chuxue and the others also ran in one after another. They originally planned to rest and cultivate or talk in private, but the spiritual energy of heaven and earth was too terrifying. They sensed that something was wrong and quickly ran over. What's going on? They looked at Lin Xian. Zhuge Feng shook his head. I don't know. I was cultivating and it became like this. Is he going to advance to the heavenly Tao? Wu Yunuo frowned and said, It can't be. Didn't he say that he's still a long way from the heavenly Tao? Why is he going to advance? It wasn't a good thing that Lin Xian was going to advance to the heavenly Tao. Anyone who wanted to advance to the heavenly Tao must be prepared in advance because the heavenly Tao's thunder of heavenly punishment was too terrifying. Even if you were fully prepared, the risk of losing your life was still very high. However, Lin Xian was suddenly going to advance to the heavenly Tao. It was really scary. They were very worried. Rumble, above Monster Wind City, even the sky far away, there was a phenomenon of heaven and earth. Dark clouds covered the entire Monster Wind City and its surroundings were completely chaotic. This level of phenomenon of heaven and earth shocked them. Yuhan, do you have the contact of Sister Linglong and the others? Hurry up and contact them. Morongyu quickly said to Wu Yuhan. Okay. Then, Wu Yuhan quickly contacted Linglong Shui and the others. They knew that Linglong Shui and the others were heavenly Tao. Now, Lin Xian was going to advance to the heavenly Tao, but he didn't make any preparations. It was probably because he suddenly had an epiphany that led to his advancement. They couldn't do anything, but Linglong Shui and the others who were also heavenly Tao might be able to do something. At least, they had to protect Lin Xian to a certain extent. This advancement to the heavenly Tao was too terrifying and too dangerous. The surrounding spiritual energy of heaven and earth crazily rushed towards Monster Wind City. On the other side, Linglong Shui and the others were sleeping soundly. Then, Linglong Shui received a message. She didn't have many friends, and they were all people that Lin Xian knew. She didn't have a single outsider. Usually, they would chat in the group, and she wouldn't remind them of the group message. Now that there was a sudden notification, she quickly opened her beautiful eyes. Not good. Seeing the message that Wu Yuhan sent her, Ling Longshui frowned. Even when she was advancing to the heavenly Tao, she had made a lot of preparations. Although Lin Xian suddenly helped her to advance, before that, she had made a lot of preparations to advance to the heavenly Tao. Lin Xian should have never made such preparations. There was definitely danger. Let's go. Ling Longshui then led Ling Longyue, Huang Shi, Yi Renbing, and Bing Lingyue out of the house. She released the space attribute and traveled through space a few times. Then, she quickly rushed towards Lin Xian and the others. Little She and little Tianyi were left alone at home. After all, their home was absolutely safe. Moreover, little She and little Tianyi weren't ordinary babies. In fact, they weren't weak. Looks like I'm really going to advance to the heavenly Tao. Chapter 1738. Ling Longshui and the others were really worried. They had all experienced the process of advancing to the heavenly Tao, and they knew very well that there could not be any mistakes in this process. Moreover, Lin Xian was definitely not weak. This also meant that the heavenly punishment lightning he experienced must be extremely powerful. In a situation where he was unprepared, even if he had all kinds of tricks up his sleeve, it was really dangerous. That was the heavenly punishment lightning, the nemesis of all martial artists and all living things. There was nothing that was not afraid of the heavenly punishment lightning. Evil Wind City. It was unknown how many experts had walked out. This is? Someone is about to advance to the heavenly Tao. In the Monster Clan, it was rather important news that someone was about to advance to the heavenly Tao. After all, although there were many heavenly Tao in the Monster Clan, it was definitely not that easy to advance to the heavenly Tao. Moreover, it was in their Evil Wind City. They had reason to believe that someone from a certain team in the Death Corner fighting arena had advanced to the heavenly Tao. Also, did you see that? Why is this heavenly phenomenon so terrifying? This is much stronger than the heavenly phenomenon of those heavenly Tao advancements. The stronger the heavenly phenomenon, the stronger the person advancing to the heavenly Tao. I really don't know who can advance to the heavenly Tao and attract such a level of heavenly phenomenon. I think it should be the top bloodline of our monster clan that can attract such a level of heavenly phenomenon, right? At this moment, a figure rushed into the distance. When the heavenly Tao advanced, the destructive power that erupted was extremely exaggerated. Lin Xian had to stay away from Evil Wind City. Han Chuxue, Murong Yu, and the others all followed Lin Xian and rushed over. Quick, let's go take a look. Then, many experts in Evil Wind City also rushed over. In a secluded wilderness, Lin Xian stood there. The void above his head was condensing, and so was the lightning. Don't come close. Stay away. Lin Xian turned to look at them. Be careful. You're not prepared. It's too dangerous. Wang Xintong shouted. Yes, I know. We've already contacted Sister Linglong and the others. They will definitely have some way to help you. Lin Xian nodded. Okay. Wasn't Lin Xian nervous? He was also nervous and afraid. Back then, he had seen Ling Longshui's appearance when she advanced to the heavenly Tao. It was too terrifying. The memory of that lightning was still fresh in his mind. He would never forget it. Lin Xian really wasn't prepared. Never in his wildest dreams would he have thought that he would go straight for the heavenly axiom. According to his plan, he would probably need at least half a year. After all, he had the Adonis system, which clearly recorded his experience points. There was still so much left, and then it was full. Although Lin Xian knew that it was because he had succeeded in comprehending the Tao, he did not expect that he could advance to the heavenly Tao just like that. He had King attracted heavenly lightning. Even if Lin Xian didn't want to advance, he had no choice. He was also afraid that he would die halfway through his advancement. This was different from his opponent. If it was an opponent, at the very least, you would know his cultivation level and roughly know how strong he could be. However, the heavenly Tao and the lightning of heavenly punishment, everything was unknown. More and more people gathered here. It's them. The Gale mercenaries. It's that phoenix? No wonder it attracted such a level of heavenly anomaly. Then it makes sense. Hurry, let's stay away. The destructive power of an ordinary heavenly Tao advancement is already unimaginable. His heavenly Tao advancement might cause us to be in trouble. Stay away! Whoosh! At this moment, a wave of spatial power was released, and a few figures appeared here. Linglong Shui and the others frowned and looked up at the void above, feeling the terrifying heavenly anomaly. Why is it so strong? They had expected that the heavenly anomaly of Lin Xian's advancement to the heavenly Tao would be very strong. However, when they felt it, it was a little too strong. Could it be that he has comprehended the Tao? Bing Lingyue suddenly thought of this possibility. Didn't Lin Xian say that it might be difficult for him to advance to the heavenly Tao within a year? He also didn't tell them about the great opportunity he had in Monster Wind City. Since there was no such opportunity, how did he advance to the heavenly Tao? There was only one possibility, and that was to comprehend the Tao. When one comprehended the Tao, there would be a powerful infusion of energy. In theory, even if you were a person with no cultivation base, if you suddenly comprehended the Tao, you could directly advance to the heavenly venerable realm. Comprehending the Tao wasn't a bad thing. Everyone wanted to do it as early as possible. However, comprehending the Tao at the critical moment of advancing to the heavenly Tao without any preparation was troublesome. Linglong Shui opened her hand, and a blue pearl appeared. Then, she threw it to Lin Xian. Only the person involved could block the heavenly lightning. They were stronger than Lin Xian, but they could only watch. If they tried to help Lin Xian block the heavenly lightning, they would be the ones to be destroyed. At the same time, it would be useless. Lin Xian raised his hand. This is a lightning avoidance pearl. It should be able to help you block the first 30 bolts of heavenly lightning. Try to maintain your best condition. I estimate that you will attract at least 90 bolts of heavenly lightning. Linglong Shui said. Okay, got it. Ren Bing gathered a force in her hand. Roar! A dragon's shadow roared from above her, causing all the demon race members to tremble. These are dragons? Heavens! It was the dragon race. Dragons of the heavenly Tao. Hiss! So powerful. They're here to help him. Why would these dragons help the phoenixes advance to the heavenly Tao? Then, the image of a phoenix erupted. It was Huang Shi. Dark Phoenix. It's the Dark Phoenix. This is too shocking. A drop of blood essence flew toward Lin Xian. Eat it. Ren Bing said. Lin Xian opened his mouth. Then, the drop of blood essence erupted from Lin Xian's body. Dragons had the strongest physiques in the world. In other words, dragons were a perfect race. Their defense, speed, and strength were all very balanced. Moreover, they were all top-tier existences. This drop of blood essence would bring Lin Xian a powerful boost in defense and strength. It could help Lin Xian resist the heavenly lightning. However, to what extent it could help him resist the heavenly lightning was unknown. The image of the Dark Phoenix flew toward Lin Xian and hovered around Lin Xian, protecting Lin Xian. They believed that with Lin Xian's talent, he should be able to attract at least 90 bolts of heavenly tribulation lightning. The first 90 bolts shouldn't be too much of a problem. However, the bolts of heavenly tribulation lightning after 90 bolts were the most terrifying. They were also the ones with the greatest risk of death. When a cultivator advanced to the heavenly Tao, they would attract 1 to 99 bolts of heavenly tribulation lightning. Each bolt would be stronger than the last. Every 90 bolts was a qualitative change. The number of bolts of heavenly tribulation lightning was related to one's talent. Simply put, in the eyes of the heavenly Tao, the stronger you were, the more heavenly tribulation lightning you would have to endure. Therefore, the more heavenly tribulation lightning there was, the higher your future achievements would be. At the same time, your power to advance to the heavenly Tao would be stronger. Chapter 1739. In the eyes of Linglong Shui and the rest, Lin Xian's talent was absolutely acceptable. In this world, there were very few people who could attract 90 bolts of lightning after advancing to the heavenly Tao. Perhaps only 1 in 10,000 heavenly Tao warriors could attract 90 bolts of lightning. At 90 bolts of lightning, a single bolt was a qualitative change. Since ancient times, the record for attracting the most bolts of lightning was 98. In a sense, although there were 99 bolts, that was just a legend. Legend had it that those who attracted 99 bolts of lightning had the qualifications to surpass the heavenly Tao realm. They had obtained the absolute recognition of the heavenly Tao, so 98 bolts was the limit. However, at the same time, it also meant that the heavenly Tao did not want you to live, so it sent down 99 bolts of lightning to kill you. Because you threatened the heavenly Tao. Therefore, 99 bolts of lightning were a sure death. Will this work? Linglong Shui asked. Let's see how many bolts there are. Linglong Shui pondered for a moment. Normally, it should be about the same. There was still danger. They could only give Lin Xian this much external help. They were also preparing Lin Xian to advance to the heavenly Tao and to resist the lightning. However, they did not expect Lin Xian to advance so quickly. There were many things that were not prepared yet, so there was nothing they could do. Boom! The first bolt of lightning came crashing down with great force. Lin Xian threw the lightning avoidance bead over. He took advantage of the bead's ability to block as much time as possible to create laws to strengthen himself and recover his spiritual energy. Why is the first bolt so strong? Huang Shi frowned. They had all experienced the lightning before. Although the first bolt was strong, it was still much stronger than what they had experienced. He has gained enlightenment, so it's only natural that the lightning bolts are stronger. However, this is indeed a little too strong. I thought that the lightning avoidance bead could block 30 bolts of lightning for him, but now it looks like it's only 15. Linglong Shui pondered for a moment. Retreat. Then, they all retreated and distanced themselves. There was nothing else they could do. That was all they could do. The rest was up to Lin Xian. One after another, the lightning bolts came crashing down. Everyone else was worried for Lin Xian. 85. As they counted, Lin Xian had already blocked 85 of them. 89. Plop! Lin Xian fell to the ground from the void, creating a large crater. His whole body was battered and exhausted. Lin Xian. Seeing this scene, their hearts couldn't help but skip a beat. Don't worry, the next one is the key. They stared at him. 90 Daos was an absolute qualitative change. Buzz buzz buzz. Above the void, the 90th thunderbolt was condensing. Lin Xian stood up from the ground. F***CK. Is it that terrifying? Lin Xian was secretly shocked. He raised his head and looked at the 90th lightning bolt that was condensing. I don't believe it. It's just heavenly lightning. How can you kill me? Boom! The 90th thunderbolt came crashing down. Feeling the overwhelming power, the people in the distance couldn't help but gulp and hurriedly retreat again. Earth attribute. Activate. Metal attribute. Activate. Lin Xian activated 2 attributes that could greatly increase his defense. Lightning heavenly prison. Lin Xian roared angrily. His purple lightning, accompanied by great power, rushed into the void and met the 90th thunderbolt head-on. However, although Lin Xian's power was incomparably strong, it still felt like an ant compared to the lightning of heavenly punishment. Boom! Plop! Lin Xian landed on the ground and smashed a huge crater in the ground. Ling Ying and the others stood there motionless, their hands on their chests. He had to be fine. Lin Xian stood up again. What the F***CK? Lin Xian was stunned. The power of this attack was too great. 91, 92, 93, all the way to 97. Pfft. Lin Xian spat out a mouthful of blood and slowly crawled up from the ground. It should be about time. They looked up at the void. The thunderclouds hadn't disappeared yet, which meant that there was still 98 to go. Under normal circumstances, advancing to Heavenly Tao would be similar to Ling Long Shui, a bit embarrassing. However, it wouldn't be Lin Xian's situation. Lin Xian's situation was already quite rare. Can he still do it? They wanted to do something, but there was nothing they could do. Phew, Lin Xian took a deep breath and took out the last awakening pill. This was their reward for winning 50 consecutive victories. The other 9 had given their awakening pills to Lin Xian. This was the last one, but the effect was minimal. This should be the last one. Fortunately, with my spiritual energy and condition, I should be able to make it. Why didn't Lin Xian create a law to heal his current injuries? No, he had to save his spirit power to release a powerful force to break through the heavenly lightning. If he didn't have any spirit power, his injuries might be lighter. But what? What would he do after that? Oh my God! 98 heavenly lightning. This is the limit. He actually attracted 98 heavenly lightning. Actually, it's normal. Kirans and dragons basically all have a minimum of 98 heavenly lightning. Although there are very few who can attract 98 heavenly lightning, there are still some. I can only say that he's indeed very powerful and talented. After all, he looks like he's going to break through to Heavenly Tao at such a young age. This one should be fine, right? It should be fine, the others also said uncertainly. The 98th heavenly lightning fell. Create a law, double strength, double speed, double defense, double spirit. All attributes burst for me. Second level of the Supreme Saint Mantra Phoenix. 7th heaven. This should be Lin Xian's full power. Boom, everyone's hearts clenched as they watched Lin Xian's small figure be instantly swallowed by the powerful lightning. Bang, Lin Xian smashed into the ground, flipping back and forth before coming to a stop. Then, Lin Xian crawled to his feet, covered in blood. Phew, everyone let out a long sigh of relief. Don't look at Lin Xian's current sorry state. Even if he was in a sorry state, it would be fine. Even if he lost an arm or a leg, it would be fine. As long as he wasn't killed by the heavenly lightning, he would be fine. It was over. That's great. Ling Ying and the others also let out a long sigh of relief. Why haven't the thunderclouds dispersed? Suddenly, they realized something. Logically speaking, the thunderclouds should have dispersed by now. ZZZT, above the void, unimaginable thunderbolts gathered once again, and a terrifying vortex appeared in the void. Everyone's pupils suddenly shrank. The 99th bolt? Heavenly lightning? How could this be? Everyone's eyes widened. Something had happened. The 99th bolt of heavenly lightning was rumored to be the result of Heavenly Tao's destruction. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.